I always loved this rich guy who put his fortune for the justice. I always loved that.
Utilizar todo eso a favor de la justicia. Eso me parecía il personaje con il che io más identificato mi sentia.
Il mio rapporto con Batman in gioventù è stata una cosa fantastica, perché io vivevo con Batman, aspettavo che arrivasse in edicola per andare a prenderlo e a leggerlo.
Para mí como niño explotó en la cabeza al ver en la televisión al señor que yo estaba leyendo acá, era algo mágico, fantástico.
C'est vrai que bon bah voilà, c'est pas tous les jours qu'on nous offre à doubler un personnage de ce type-là.
They asked me, "Are you free next week? We have a new George Clooney film coming out," and I said, "Yeah, sure." And they said, "Oh, by the way, it's Batman." I said, "Wow, great."
Whatever you do, wherever you go, I'll be watching you.
I'm insane.
मैंने तुम्हें गौतम के आर्खम पागल खाने में भेजने का इंतजाम किया है। वहां भी मेरे कुछ दोस्त हैं जिन्हें तुम्हारा इंतजार है। I started doing individual characters, and one fine day, finally in around 2005, I got something for which I'm being interviewed by you today. And I tasted a real flavor of fame after the release of the magnum opus named Batman. That was when I became a very big fan of Batman, and he teaches me a lot, you know. I get to learn so many things. The best part, voice acting, if I'm doing for such a big project and big actor, such a huge personality, I have to just be closer to him, as close as possible. The subtlety and organic performance which they give in Hollywood, you have to be exactly the same note. You don't have to be more melodramatic. And once you see the scene, you just have to copy him. And if you are successful in that, it's done. When the guy played my recording, I had a goosebumps. It was unbelievable. I said, is it my voice? And I was happy. I was convinced that I've done a good job.
Bruce Wayne es un playboy millonario, debe ser la voz de alguien que, por ejemplo, si una señorita se lo encuentra en una fiesta, se sienta seducida por él.
Bruce Wayne wear a bigger mask for me than the Batman. So this voice, like this animal voice, is the real character for me. So I found it more difficult to adapt the Bruce Wayne than Batman.
Salve, Bruce Wayne, miliardario, giramondo, viveur, playboy, scapolo d'oro di Gotham per tipo 90 anni di fila.
I know who you are, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, the mic నేను పైకి పెట్టాను అందుకని now it will be visible. Now it will be audible, so sorry.
Batman can act absolutely alone.
Is it okay now? Can you guys hear me?
Eu sou Batman.
Il pubblico è molto attratto dalla voce di Batman, soprattutto qui in Italia. Mi lascia col fiato sospeso.
Batman's voice is as much
Okay, I can hear myself then.
If not more, actually, because you don't get the humor by watching just the costume.
Batman is a mystery, and like I said, he is God. He is a human, and he's also an angel.
Joe Jill.
So what are you guys expecting from this panel right now? So everyone is hyped up. చాలా మంది కూడా జాక్ స్నైడర్ జస్టిస్ లీగ్ మీద చాలా హోప్స్ పెట్టుకున్నారు. హైప్ ఈస్ రియల్. సో 2017 ఇయర్ ఎండ్లో స్టార్ట్ అయింది యాక్చువల్గా స్ట్రగుల్ స్నైడర్ కట్ది. సో ఇట్స్ బీన్ లాంగ్ టైమ్ from the start of Snyder Cut movement. Everyone was actively participating, and to be honest, elanti kind of movements manaku chaala takku unnai in film industry. To abstract no Vishnuvardhan pedda em jaragaledu. So as I'm saying, Snyder Cut anedi it's the victory of fans. Oka గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ ఇండివిజువల్స్ అంటే ఒక కమ్యూనిటీ ఒక ఇష్టపడే కొన్ని క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఇష్టపడే ఒక గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ కలిపి వాళ్ళకి నచ్చిన క్యారెక్టర్స్కి జరిగిన ఇంజస్టిస్ని అండూ చేసి మళ్ళీ డైరెక్టర్ విజన్ అండ్ క్రియేటివ్ విజన్ని తీసుకురావడం అనేది ఇట్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ క్వైట్ ఇంపాసిబుల్ ఇన్ లేటెస్ట్ మూవీ ఇండస్ట్రీ. బట్ డీసీ ఫ్యాన్స్ వల్ల అది సాధ్యమైంది. సో kudos to DC fans first of all.
La voz que creo y la voz que han aplicado los demás Batman, aparte de trabajarla yo desde el pecho y desde la garganta,
Keaton le dio una cualidad a la voz.
So let me keep it down. సో మనకు కంటిన్యూస్ ప్యానల్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇప్పుడు. రైట్ నౌ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ అంటిల్ 3:30 వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ జస్టిస్ లీగ్ అండ్ లేటర్ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ద ఫ్లాష్ టీవీ సిరీస్. తర్వాత బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ ఉంది. సో ఫైనల్ స్ట్రెచ్ అనమాట. ఇంకొన్ని ఉన్నాయి అంతే లైట్గా. సో ఇది అయిపోతే ఇంక కంటిన్యూస్గా 6:30 వరకు ఉన్నాయి ప్యానల్స్ అన్నీ. సో లెట్స్ హోప్ వీ కెన్ డూ ఇట్. ప్లే వ్యూవర్ కౌంట్ అది చూసుకుని లెట్స్ డూ ఇట్.
Speaks and the way he interacts with other characters, he's always like so cool and so never gets.
So viewer count is slowly increasing or decreasing.
Why did you build this thing with only one seat?
Porque que yo sepa solo tengo un culo.
సో ఏంటి అందరు సైలెంట్గా ఉన్నారు? ఏమైనా కామెంట్ చేయండి. ఇంటరాక్ట్. No Venkat Abhinay, I don't bleed.
Es inherente al ser humano el deseo de justicia, ¿no? De luchar a favor del oprimido o de impartir justicia y de que las cosas se hagan bien, ¿no? De que los malos no se salgan siempre con la suya. Nosotros en el doblaje, para cada uno de los Batman,
Do you bleed me blames? Yeah, చూసాను నేను యాక్చువల్గా. అప్పుడు న్యూస్ స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పుడు స్నైడర్ పెట్టినప్పుడు ఐ మీన్ స్ట్రీమ్. సో స్ట్రీమ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత చూస్తే ఇట్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఆల్ ఓవర్ ది ఇంటర్నెట్ అనమాట. సో యా చూసాను. సో హోల్డ్ ఆన్ ఎ సెకండ్. ఐ just put up a post on Insta.
Necesito vivirlo, necesito meterme en la película, necesito supervisar cada detalle, pero yo soy muy perfeccionista.
Doppiare per un videogioco o doppiare un attore o comunque un cartone animato è molto diverso.
Le jeu vidéo, il y a beaucoup plus de travail à fournir, beaucoup plus de...
Lavoriamo sulla forma d'onda.
యా చూసాను. రాబర్ట్ ప్యాటిన్సన్ బ్యాట్మెన్ లుక్ అదిరిపోయింది. సో బట్ ఆల్సో ఐఎమ్ నాట్ హ్యాపీ దట్ దే ఆర్ అంటే లీక్డ్ పిక్స్ అండ్ లీక్డ్ వీడియోస్ కూడా బాగా పబ్లిసిటీ ఇస్తున్నారు. బట్ ఐ హోప్ దే వెయిట్ ఫర్ ద అఫీషియల్ రివీల్ బికాస్ వీఆర్ ఇన్ ద ఎండ్ మూమెంట్స్ రైట్ నౌ. సో కొంచెం అది అఫీషియల్గా రిలీజ్ అయ్యాక వస్తే బాగుండేదని నేను అనుకున్నాను. బట్ యా ఎనీథింగ్ ఇట్స్ గుడ్ థింగ్ దట్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ లుకింగ్ టు DC.
Und so wurde unser größter Held plötzlich unsere größte Bedrohung.
Ça demande beaucoup d'énergie le jeu vidéo parce que c'est une très très longue journée. On est tout seul dans une petite cabine avec un casque. On entend sa propre voix toute la journée.
You don't have the nuances that you have in a living character because the animation is always.
సో ఇది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇంకొక కపుల్ ఆఫ్ మినిట్స్లో స్నైడర్ ప్యానల్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో డోంట్ హోప్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ టు హ్యాపెన్ ఇన్ ద ఫస్ట్ మూమెంట్స్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. సో ఇట్స్ ఏ ప్యానల్ we've been waiting from past 3 years.
J'ai rien à dire sur les émotions, Alfred. Je n'en ai pas et je n'en ai jamais eu de ma vie.
Justiciero de la noche que lucha contra el crimen y una máquina de rapear heavy metal.
Io non provo nessuna emozione a parte la rabbia. H24, 12 mesi all'anno, a 1.000.000%.
And if you think that there's something behind that, then you're crazy.
So, if you are alert and active, drop down hashtag Snyder Cut in
The Lego
live chat.
movie was one of the funniest experience of all my career. I never had so
Comment
much
down
fun.
hashtag Snyder Cut in chat
And Will Arnett's
if you are
brought
active.
back the humor that was present in the original TV series. That sort of tongue-in-cheek humor, lots of puns, lots of jokes.
This is really uncomfortable.
Sorry, my shoes are part of my pants.
La experiencia de doblar al Batman de Nolan, al Batman de Gran Aventura Lego 1 y 2, es muy diferente, pero la verdad la 1 y 2 es muy divertida. Entonces es como jugarlo más, tienes que sentirte un poco más libre, ¿no? De hacer tú también tu creación, sobre todo para el humor latino.
Avinash Kumar, my name is Sidvi. Sidvi Parker. You can follow on Instagram and all. Facebook, Twitter, everything is there. It's Sidvi.
Que se vuelve hasta un poco patoso, que no sabe cómo relacionarse con los demás.
Who are you here to see?
I'm here to see your butt.
Is that last name, bud? First name, yours? Oh my gosh!
Y los Lego Batman fue como vamos a reír eso, poder reírte hasta de ti mismo, ¿no? Fue liberador.
Okay, it's going to end. ఇంక ఎండింగ్ వచ్చింది.
Alla Batman mi riempie di gioia e mi riempie di orgoglio.
Il y a quelque chose de l'enfance là-dedans, quoi. Je veux dire, je suis pris pour faire Batman.
Batman was like going full circle from my childhood to my adult life.
Lo debo decir como lo siento y es un gran orgullo, es una de las cosas más bonitas que me han ocurrido a nivel profesional.
So Batman will be always close to my heart because Batman is one of the best character in my life. I'm a bit emotional now.
Es maravilloso ser parte de este gran grupo.
So yeah, we are in the final moments about Snyder Cut panel.
Viendo a mis compañeros actores, viendo a todos.
What Warner Brothers is doing now, like getting us into the limelight, where people come to know this is the voice of Batman from India, from different countries. This is the appreciation coming back to us. So I feel great.
Uma coisa que marca, você não deixa de ter dublado o personagem, né? As pessoas vão sempre lembrar de você.
So yeah, a couple of minutes, guys. If you are new to the chat, just comment down hashtag Snyder Cut.
That was fun.
Okay, it's almost done. Yes, Srikar, hoping that all Justice League actors are in panel.
Maybe they'll cast me as the Italian Robert Pattinson in the next film. What do you think? Coming up, we have another WB Games debut, and we are talking to Matt Reeves, director of the Batman.
Okay, so tattoos. Batman tattoos, Joker. Super Dogs, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, Batman Who Laughs. Yeah. That Wonder Woman tattoo is so cute. I missed it. సో ప్యానల్ అది ట్రైలర్ అది ఆ టైంకి చార్ట్ ఒకసారి ఆఫ్ చేస్తాను. సో యూ గైస్ లెట్స్ డిస్కస్ దట్. ఓకే, ప్యానల్ ఇస్ స్టార్టింగ్ గైస్. ఉంటారు. ఐ హోప్ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఈస్ దేర్.
Hi everyone, the Brazilians are back in the house, and let me just say that you guys, I mean, the best, are the best. I love everything and incredible stuff. I can't wait to see more. from these super talented fans.
Well, me too, Aline. Now, speaking of DC's fans, since 2017, you have been demanding the release of Zack Snyder's version of Justice League, of course. Your friends at HBO Max heard you and look for it in 2021.
I know, but I know. That probably feels like a long way off. So, right now, we're gonna check out this very exciting panel featuring Zack Snyder and some special guests, as well as some of the fans who helped bring this DC dream come to life.
Yeah, I'll remove it once the panel starts, so that I can interact with you until then. Okay, guys. Oh yes, bad signal.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. It's awesome to be here at DC Fandome. This is amazing.
Yes.
It's been quite a journey with the DC fans, and I've had a great time bringing some of these beloved DC titles to the big screen. And the Justice League really is, for me, and in this format, an amazing crown jewel. As a community, we were able to make this thing happen, and we really appreciate it. We're going to shake it up a little bit for this panel, and I'm going to have some fans ask me questions. I'm going to ask some people questions. We're going to have special guests, so let's get to it. We have some
Justice League
questions
panel
from fans read to us by some of the amazing cast of Justice League. Looks like next we have Batman, my Batman. Go ahead, what do you got?
I hope you guys are enjoying
Yes,
DC Fandome.
Ben Affleck.
I'm really excited for you to get a chance to see Zack's ultimate version of Justice League on HBO Max next year.
Well, thank you, Ben. I'm excited for everyone to see the film as well. It's cool. What question do you have?
Patrick Mendoza wants to know, who is your favorite superhero of all time? You know the answer to that. Go ahead and answer that.
I guess my favorite hero of all time, other than Batman, would have to be, sort of staying in the DC world as I do. It's got to be Dr. Manhattan, from Watchmen, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, for me, he's like this super cool quantum superhero whose time, space, reality, all those things are at his fingertips. So yeah, it's got to be Dr. Manhattan. That was awesome, Ben. Thank you so much. That was cool, and appreciate you stopping by. I think next, is it Superman?
Henry
My
Cavill.
name is Henry Cavill, and I promise you that I am not in prison. This is just my place of work. I hope you're enjoying DC Fandome, and I have a fan question for Zack Snyder from Swapnil.
Okay,
As a storyteller,
India.
what is the dynamic between the Justice League that is important for you to present on the screen? Zack, over to you.
It's a great question, and thank you so much. I think the important thing for me to see as the Justice League comes together is this idea that, like, a lot of them basically are loners, right? You have Batman, lives in a cave. His only buddy is Alfred, really. You got Wonder Woman, who, after Steve's demise, she's been kind of keeping quiet. You have Flash, who's got these powers, but he's kind of alone in the world. And you have Cyborg, who, you know, in a lot of ways, is not really happy about what's happened to him, this transformation. He's coming to terms with it. And then you have Aquaman, who also is this loner. And sort of thematically, them coming together and forming a family and finding in each other support. I think that's really what, in the end, drove me to want to see this happen, or see them come together. And I think that when you take all these different personalities and bring them together into a single cohesive group, it's a fun and awesome dynamic, but also there's a why of doing it. All right, let's see, who do we have next? Is it Cyborg?
Hey,
Ray
Zach.
Fisher.
What up, man?
Okay.
Ray Fisher here. You know I am super excited about the Snyder Cut getting dropped on HBO Max. And there's some folks who have a couple questions for you. The first question is coming from Eddie Gordon from the United States. And that question is, which character are you most excited to fully flesh out in your cut of Justice League?
Interesting that you should ask me that, because of course it's
Cyborg.
Cyborg is the heart of the movie. Cyborg is the thing that I think in the end holds the team together in a lot of ways, and excited to see, or for fans to see, just how that is realized on camera.
And the second question is coming in from Irfan Kam from the United Kingdom, and their question is, when you started writing Justice League, what thematic ideas were you most excited to tackle? Additionally, how much of a challenge was it to keep the tone mythological? I want to know too, so make sure you get up on those.
It's a great question. When Chris and I were talking about this movie, I think we're big fans of sort of the Joseph Campbellian, hero's journey, and also this notion that we would be creating a team. It's the Knights of the Round Table joining together in an epic adventure, and this is the call to action film that brings them, as a story, that brings them all together. And I think it is a mythological concept to begin with. So keeping it mythological, and especially when you think about it's Aquaman, it's Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, and then Superman, you're really talking about a mythological group, Okay, this is fun. Let's keep them coming. Who else? I think next is the Flash himself.
Mr. Maestro Zack Snyder. I mean, what other questions can we ask? I think we'd all like to know if we'll see more of the handsome and talented Ezra Miller in your cut.
I like the question, Ezra. No agenda at all. Very good. Of course, you're going to see tons more of the Flash. I have a huge love for the Flash and for Ezra Miller,
Flash.
as you know, especially when you call me at the last second and make me come work on music videos in the desert. That's really kind of you. So, but yes, of course, Ezra. I think people are going to see a lot more of the Flash, and they're going to get to see a little bit more of his emotional arc, and I hope they enjoy it, because I enjoy seeing you, especially in this format. Okay, looks like we've got we've got something from Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot.
Zach, when you cast me in the role of Wonder Woman, I had no idea what an amazing ride I was in for. It's been life-changing to play this character, mostly because I've got to meet so many incredible fans around the world who love her like we do. Fans who I hope are all sharing this experience today, because it's all happening because of you. So to all the fans who asked for this cut, you obviously have your own superpowers, because just like the members of Justice League, you are stronger together, and you made this possible. So thank you. I love you.
Thanks, Gal. I can't wait for fans to see you in Wonder Woman 84, which is an amazing movie, and you are amazing in it. And Patty, of course, did an amazing job. So you guys are an awesome team, and people's minds are going to be blown when they see that. So thanks again. That was great. All right, let's see. Who do we have next?
Okay.
Hi, Zach, and everybody in the Justice League
Okay.
crew. I have a question. So, as somebody who is so very excited to get to see your vision of Justice League, and that you're finally getting this chance to really show us the film that was always intended, and one that we're all so super excited to see, I wanted to know, probably what everybody wants to know is, can you hint something that the world has never seen, that you have been so excited
So guys,
to let
comment
us
on what
all
are you
get
expecting
glimpse at,
from
without
Snyder
too many
Cut?
spoilers.
Please
Okay.
comment down.
How do I do this without giving too many spoilers? You're going to see something with Flash in this film I don't think that you've ever seen before. Something that has to do with his abilities, because he's a quantum character. He interacts with time and space, so you might see him do something that is timely. But awesome, Patty. Awesome question, and it's awesome to see you. All right, let's move along, shall we? And I think I want to ask some questions. So let's get some people on the line if we can. I'd like to get, there's some super fans we have standing by, I see. One of them is Fiona from China. She is dear to our hearts. She was one of the founding members of the Snyder Cut movement and really instrumental in bringing it to all of us. So let's get her on the line and say hi to her.
Oh my God, Zach and his studio. It's like a dream come true.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
First off was, what about this movement and the Snyder Cut and the whole thing? What was the thing that got you to say like, hey, you know what? I got to get involved with this.
After I saw Batman with Superman in theaters 4 years ago in China, I was blown away. After watching Justice League, it was immediately clear that many parts of the film were not consistent with your usual filmmaking style. So we are the fans. We knew that there was a real version of the film out there. We started asking for it. Why not? We started a petition, if you remember, that reached to 180K people signed. Then I think it's not enough. So I created a website called forsnydercut.com that allowed us to start doing some online and real-world events, such as Twitter trends, raising money for AFSP, letter writing, and phone calls to Warner Brothers. Now, here we are.
Awesome. Wow. And look what happened. You guys did it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
So did you really think it was going to happen though? When we really started when it got closer?
It all started with hope and dream. So many movements, I think, never go beyond that. To actually achieve a dream, you need organization and selflessness. Then we have a team who put a billboard in Times Square.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think you remember that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
When you see all these people, when you fight alongside such talented and generous people, you know it's not possible. It's a certainty.
Yeah.
Even we had many obstacles, but we know we will win this.
Yeah, I always thought it was funny that like the scale started to get bigger and bigger, and we would notice like, oh my gosh. And at first, remember, because it was like a bus stop in Comic-Con, and then a billboard in Times Square, and then on the anniversary of Justice League, and it just goes completely nuts, and everyone's like, okay.
It's like snowball, rolling with a big snowball.
Yeah, a giant snowball now, yeah. What was your favorite moment for you in the whole experience?
I think my answer to this question evolved. I started out because I admire you. I love you. I want to fight for you and your work. But as time passed, I became just much about fighting alongside my fellow community members. It's power from art.
So yeah, trailer leak ayindi, but I didn't watch the trailer because I want to give my genuine reaction to it to you guys.
It's amazing to see you.
So
thank you so much
fingers
for
crossed.
Connecting with us. I can't wait to come to China.
Please come to China. I want to be your guide. So see you.
Yep, see you soon. Thank you, Fiona.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another call from Dexter, another amazing friend and another amazing fan who also was super important in the creation and cultivation of this movement. He's been around for a long time and really making this happen. So let's talk to Dexter. Dexter.
Hi. How are you, my friend?
Awesome. I'm glad you came. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you as well.
So I got you on the spot because I want to ask you a couple questions. So I guess the first question is, what are your initial thoughts, and where were you when you first heard about the Snyder Cut movement, or how did it come on your radar?
Yeah, well, it was very early on. I'll tell you, right after the viewing of the theatrical edition, I went to the internet and I felt that I couldn't be the only one that felt a certain way. So after maybe a few weekends, I had a few chats with a few people, and it kind of fell into my lap, and I said, this is something that I can really get behind. And I did what I could in order to try to help, and here I am, multiple years later, still trying to be a forefront of this whole thing to help you guys out, and thankfully it's been a positive turn of events.
Yeah, like how crazy is it that, like I was saying the other day, I shot the movie in 2016. that's when I was on
4
set
years.
shooting. And here we are in
So
2021, and
5 years, nearly 5
thank you,
years.
and that's when the movie's going to come out, and seems impossible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So to that, when you started in this movement, did you think there was a chance that that they would do this?
That's a really great question. Early on, I had high hopes about it. And I think it was just because of my ignorance on how the industry worked. Toward, a quarter into it, I kind of said, well, we're not really speaking their language. How can we get them to want to do this for us? I think that's the key, and what made it really happen is just the fact that they saw that there were so many people that really wanted to stand behind the artistry of it all, the artists, and the integrity of it. And here we are.
I always felt like when I was sort of observing this movement, in a lot of ways, for fans, the way the comic book calendar is set up, it'd be like, the anniversary of the release, or Comic-Con, or Brazil Comic-Con, or New York Comic-Con, and you guys just always kind of using those events as like a springboard, because you're like, look, we got something to say. So it always felt like
unrested.
Yeah, it was tough coming up with those things at times. Really, we would chatter a lot of behind the scenes Zoom calls and phone calls and WhatsApp messages, really trying to come up with what can we do next? What we're thinking about our next event. And then when you were to kind of give us a little hint or a little something to play along with, and it just really, really ignited us to continue on. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that for me was amazing. It was cool to have this kind of conversation with the fans where I could either release an image or just say something and just get this response that I could feel, this kind of energy exchange that was really, really, really exciting. Do you have a favorite moment from this experience?
I think my favorite moment so far is getting the opportunity to fly out to your event in Pasadena. The Director's Cut weekend was such a memorable event for me and my sons, and something I will always cherish with me. And one of the other things I was just really, really excited to see, and this is just me, and I don't want to make things heavy, but just the opportunity to see the smile on yours and Debbie's face when it was official. It was just really heartwarming to me, and honestly, I did tear up a little bit. I will admit, I teared up a little bit, but it's just because it was just a lot of work that paid off, and I'm just excited to see that you guys were really, really happy.
Well, I got to admit that we also, when we heard the news, we all got pretty emotional, and it's been an incredible journey. And for us, one of the amazing parts is that we were able to, interact with and be part of this fan community in an amazing way. And
Funny, in
sort of
few minutes,
teaser
will be released
really
now.
Grateful for being able to have this dialogue.
Stay tuned.
And also, frankly, feeling the incredible support for the work that I get to experience. When we see these fan-generated events and things that really have nothing to do with selling a movie or doing anything that has to do with commerce. It's really for love, and we feel it. And also the amazing charitable work that you guys, the amount of money you've raised for suicide prevention is just unbelievable. So again, thank you so much. We couldn't thank you enough. So Dexter, thanks.
Thank you so much. It's been our pleasure. We appreciate it.
It's cool to interact with the fans and get to talk about this journey that we've been on, because it has been something quite amazing. Maybe I should talk for a second about how you guys are going to see the movie and what format we're going to have it in. It's going to be in 4 parts, 1 hour each. So 4 hours of Justice League is
4 hours. Okay.
We're going to work on a way of bundling it together at the end so you can watch it as a single film if that's the way you want to experience it.
Sure.
Also, to all my international fans and everyone watching all over the world, don't worry if you don't have HBO Max, because we're working on a distribution plan, so I promise you're going to get a chance to see it.
Sure.
And if you guys haven't gotten your t-shirt yet, there's still hope. If you go to Ink to the People, you can get your associate producer shirt, and I want you guys, it all goes to a good cause, so please go grab a shirt if you can. I guess it's time to play the
trailer.
Teaser.
Okay,
that's
teaser.
why you're really here.
Yes.
See some footage from the movie, as I promised.
Yes.
So why don't we check that out? So here it is.
Okay. Okay.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But
Ah. Iris.
I did my best. It wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth.
Right.
I didn't come to fool you.
Okay, this is new. Ah. Batman. Oh my
This
god.
guy's probably fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
That's Zack Snyder cut. That's for you guys. That's Snyder cut.
Zack Snyder.
Amazing.
United.
And that's how we do it in the DC fandom.
Oh god. God. So 4 parts కింద వస్తుంది. It's 4 1 hour each episode. So we are getting Flash new footage and Cyborg footage, and we are getting extended battles, everything. So okay.
I'm going to get you with my superhero powers.
Why is he called Robin? Because you don't really see bats and robins together, do you? I suppose they both fly and they both eat insects.
Okay, we are back, guys. Don't worry. We are back. We are back. Don't go away. So yeah,
I spring.
so let's discuss a bit about Snyder Cut now. So ఎక్కడ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి? ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ సో అమేజింగ్. సో ఇంకా డార్క్ సైడ్ విఎఫ్ఎక్స్ అవ్వాలి. సో దెర్ ఈస్ విఎఫ్ఎక్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇంకా ఫినిష్ అవ్వాల్సింది ఉంది. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ హాఫ్ కంప్లీటెడ్ అంటిల్ నౌ. So that needs time and all. So yeah, now Flash panel. So I'll try to do an extended breakdown tomorrow evening. అంటే I mean ఈరోజు ఈవినింగ్ unfiltered opinion చేస్తాను. So please stay tuned there. Okay, Flash panel. Okay. So guys, comment down your best moments in Snyder Cut and what you want to see more. Okay, Deepak, bye. దీని తర్వాత బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ కూడా ఉంది. సో ఇట్స్ ఈ ప్యానల్ అయ్యాక బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ ఉంది. సో ప్లీజ్ స్టే ట్యూన్ దేర్.
From Entertainment Weekly, and this is the Flash panel. Joining me today, we have Grant Gustin, who plays the Scarlet Spitzer himself, the Flash, aka Barry Allen. Candace Patton, who plays reporter
Iris
West Allen. Daniel Panabaker,
Daniel Panabaker,
both Caitlin Snow and Frost.
Fan favorite character.
Carlos Valdez, who plays the unreportable mechanical engineer.
Cisco
Ramon. Daniel Nicolay, who plays Meta attorney.
Okay, Cecile.
Brandon McKnight, who plays enthusiastic
Okay, Chester
P. Runk. And Kayla Compton, who plays Central City citizen
Allegra
Garcia. Also, we have showrunner and executive producer Eric
Wallace.
Hi, guys. Hi. Before we talk about season 7, I do want to go back through season 6, which I think was a really unique year for the show. Because Eric, you decided to split the season into 2 parts. Looking back on it now, how successful do you feel that was? How effective was that?
I thought it was really successful. In the first half with Blood Work, we were able to really drill down on Barry's story and on dealing with Crisis. In the back half,
so
really drill into Iris's character and to Citizen.
Actually Flash ni 2 parts kinda divide cheyadam naaku baa nachindi because the first part is completely so intense and all and Crisis kuda దగ్గరికి రావడం అదంతా. So it was a very good moment for as a fan. So every character was fleshed out well. So మొత్తం అంతా కూడా బాగుంది. Yeah, Harshavardhan, we are missing Harrison Wells.
To get to the end.
I think a show needs to change in order to grow.
As an actor too, it prevents fatigue throughout the season. 22 episodes is a long time, 9 months, and I think for us having this kind of break in the season where a new sort of storyline emerges kind of puts us in a headspace of
let's hope they bring up more seasons like first season.
The season was very much about sort of
first season was so ultimate.
Dealing with his mortality.
అలాంటి సీజన్స్ మళ్ళీ రావాలని అనుకుంటున్నాను. That scene was pretty awesome though. Everything in the head.
Real or not, I'm coming for you.
Grant, for you, what was it like sort of dig into Barry in that way in the first half of the season, especially with episodes like The Last Temptation?
That was a really special episode to me, and I think it really was a good episode to show just kind of the culmination of all of his emotions and the conflict kind of boiling over. I just felt really lucky.
Pushpa, yes,
The Last Temptation,
they released the Snyder Cut.
A lot more into Iris as a journalist.
Go back to the video so that you can see it, or wait for the WB to upload it.
It was a long time coming. I think we've kind of teased Iris being this ace reporter since season 1. It's always kind of been put on the back burner, so it was a nice treat to finally have it be at the forefront of her character arc for the season. It's such a male-dominated cast. I love these guys, but having more women and having this kind of Charlie's Angels reporter team, it was really cool. It brought a new energy to the show, and I hope we carry on with that in the next season.
And on the subject of new things, I mean, this season we got 2 new characters with Chester and Kayla, and we have 2 now series regulars coming into season 7. How was your experience sort of coming into a show that's sort of 6 seasons in and sort of
so I thought Allegra was so fleshed out character. She ante tanaki inka grow aye chance undi. I hope they utilize her well in the next season.
We were shooting a scene and she just took me under her wing instantly, and I remember she was like, "Do you want to take a picture?" And I was like, "Do I want to take a picture with you?" Yes. And then I got the courage to like ask other people to take pictures because she had like made me feel so welcome instantly.
I was a big fan. I am a big fan of the show, and I watched the show. The Flash is my little sister's favorite superhero, so we've watched the show since season 1. So I came in already like understanding what the show was about, like what the show's tone was, stuff like that. For me, it was more so just meeting everybody and trying to find my spot, my place, without interrupting or changing too much.
And Brandon, I know in the past, Eric has talked about how Chester, he views sort of Chester, it's sort of like him, is sort of viewed as enough science and all that. I'm curious, 1, what conversations did you have with Eric about sort of crafting this performance? 2, did you base any of it on Eric himself?
Grant కాదు, నేను కూడా ఆపేస్తాను. We are the Flash అంటే మాత్రం లైవ్ ఆపేస్తాను నేను పక్కా చెప్తాను.
This guy's brain works faster than his mouth. He can't speak as quickly as he thinks.
Hey, what up, party people? Welcome
Welcome to a world where all are welcome and anything, including the scientifically impossible, can and probably will happen.
Kayla, with Allegra, I'm curious, coming into the show, I mean, how did you sort of connect with your character, and in what ways did you relate to her?
The way I look at Allegra is that she just wants to fit in and belong somewhere.
So
and I
when is
super
Black Adam
resonate with
panel?
that. Family is
Hold on
really
a
important to
second.
me. My friendships are really important to me, and belonging to something or having a community is just really important to me.
Okay, so
So
Black
that
Adam
was
is
one of
at
the first
3:40,
things that
so
I
inkoka 10
connected
minutes
with
slow.
Allegra.
Cool.
She just wants a family, and she wants to belong, and
So,
she hasn't had
how
that
many guys-
previously. And so I super resonate with her.
How many of you guys are Rock fans?
Yeah.
Rock fans, please comment down. The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's one of my favorite characters.
It was really fun to get to
నాకు
explore Killer
చిన్నప్పుడు
Frost as a real character and
మమ్మీలో చూసినప్పుడు యాక్చువల్గా ఐ గాట్ నైట్ మేర్స్. ఇప్పుడు కూడా విఎఫ్ఎక్స్ చూస్తే నైట్ మేర్స్ వస్తాయి అనుకోండి, అది వేరే విషయం. బట్ I genuinely feared for the Mummy too. తన ఎంట్రన్స్ కానీ లాస్ట్లో ఆ స్కార్పియన్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్ మొత్తం అంతా కూడా ద రాక్ వాజ్ సో అమేజింగ్ ద మమ్మీ టూ మూవీలో.
This season for Cecile, she sort of decides to become a meta attorney for many humans. For you, what has it been like to see this character evolve from when she was initially introduced to where she is now?
It's a blast for me because I got to be a regular person, then I got to be a telepath, and then I got to be an empath, and then now I am a meta defense attorney. And then from what I understand, there's going to be some shifts next season too.
Is there something that you're hoping to do that you haven't gotten a chance to do on the show yet?
I have always, this is not news to anybody, Eric will not be surprised, I have wanted Cecile to be bad, just a little bit bad, forever, so just a little bit, because she's so good. I would have a lot of fun playing like bad Cecile. Unfortunately, Eric does not believe me to be as good of a writer as I am. So he continues to not buy my pitches.
But I listen. I am listening.
And Carlos, this season 5 ended with him giving up his powers, and this season was very much about him figuring out what his role on the team was without those powers. After 5 seasons of Cisco's vibe, what was it like for you to explore this new this Cisco in a new place like this?
I don't think he regrets that decision, but I think it definitely haunts him. I'm actually feeling a lot like Cisco these days because, I'll have a fan that I'll see on the street or whatever.
So, but Cisco powers తీయడం నాకు కొంచెం I was let down a little bit. So, మీరేమనుకుంటున్నారు సిస్కో వైబ్ పవర్స్ ని తీసేయడం అది? What's your opinion on it?
I know.
The beginning of season 6 actually had an episode called Kiss Kiss Breach Breach, which was Cisco-centric, and included on the DVD set coming out in August is a black and white version of that episode, and we have a clip from that episode. So let's check it out.
Okay.
You murdered my daughter!
I didn't do it! I swear!
Liar!
Believe me! Leave him alone!
Where did you get that?
In Cisco's workshop. I don't know how it got there.
I do. He just murdered my daughter with it.
Wow, right?
Pretty cool,
so exciting.
Very cool.
Carlos, the episode was so Cisco-centric about him dealing with Gypsy's death. What was it like leading the A-plot?
So gratifying to my budding narcissism.
On that note, we also have a sizzle reel for what's to come in season 7. When we last left on season 6,
Season
Eva
7
McCulloch had gotten what she wanted, and she framed Sue. And this
So is it
the
the teaser which released a couple of hours ago? Okay, ade teaser.
I've achieved my goal. This company is all mine. You lost your speed? You're not much of a threat, are you? You just stay out of my way, Flash.
Iris is my wife. I have to save her.
What are you? I am a product of your broken mind.
How much speed do you have left?
Enough for a few hours. I need your help to build an artificial speed force. That's how I can get my speed back.
I was an empath too, only I never held back. What did you do to me? Imagine what you'd become if you weren't so afraid.
Yeah, watch the next కూడా చాలా బాగుంది ఆ తర్వాత. So So it's all about twists between Iris and Barry. So Iris will be stuck in mirror world, right? So tanni save cheyadaniki last anta kuda. So it was good, బాగుంది.
To any mirror in the universe in the blink of an eye. She's faster than I am, and somehow I'm supposed to stop her?
I have unfinished business and a whole world to liberate.
We need a plan. We've all lost so much this year. Some things can't be taken. We still have our will to fight for those we love.
Keep watching. Keep trying to break me. Because I'm not afraid of the woman that I am today. But you are, Eva.
Team Flash needs as many hands on deck as possible.
We're now, Flash.
We go save Iris and our friends.
Get everybody back.
Eric, you talk about what we're seeing there.
When we had the shutdown happen, as unfortunate as it was, we were on the last day of filming for what would have been the 20th episode of last season, which now will become partially the first episode of season 7. So we did have 85% of the footage that we were able to use. Plus, also, we knew where we were going already in season 7. So even though it's only footage really from one episode, pay attention to the way it's presented. It's actually huge spoilers all over the place.
And that sizzle had a lot of Iris in it, a lot of Iris in the Mirrorverse. Candace, I mean, can you sort of, in your mind, I guess, how do you think her time in the Mirrorverse has sort of affected her?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when she comes out, and I believe
Yeah,
she will come out
Patty
very soon
Spivot
for
should be
season
back.
7. It'll
At
be
least
very
a cameo
interesting to
కైనా
see how she's
సరే
been affected by being
తన్ని
kind
తీసుకొస్తే
of stuck in
బాగుంటది.
this maddening world with this
Fan favorite.
super villain.
Preview show that sort of Barry is sort of working as hard as he can to get his powers back, get his speed back. I mean, for you, do you think Barry has enjoyed any part of not having his speed at this point, or do you think he really does just really misses it, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think he really just misses it. I don't think, especially with Iris being trapped in the Mirrorverse at the moment, and then Eva being a factor, I don't think any part of him has been like, well, I guess I'll just enjoy this downtime while I can. I think he genuinely not just wants his powers back, but he feels that he needs them back. And he's also started to feel that they define him and what is he without them.
Big bads for season 7. Eric, what was it about Gotham? You're like, oh, there's something there for that.
I want to make sure that new fans,
Godspeed.
especially new young fans who are reading the comic book right now, are welcomed to the show. So it's not just Silver Age villains and Bronze Age villains. There might be a young girl or a young boy who is reading those Flash comics right now and going, where's my villain, my generation's villain?
And with that, let's move on to some fan questions.
Okay.
Last season, we got to see some romantic moments between Barry and Iris, even though it was Mirror Iris. Will we get to see more of that with the real Iris this season? And this question comes from Jamaica.
They will find their way back to each other eventually. A lot of the romance and the chemistry between Grant and I has always been something even deeper than that. It's the way we look at each other and the way the characters are written.
For Grant, which from all over the world wanted to know this, when will we get to see the Flash in the iconic gold boots?
This might be a question for me, but really it's for Eric, because I don't know if this is saying too much, but if it were up to me, it would have been like 2 seasons ago. So.
Well, that'll do it for us today. Thank you all for joining me for this panel.
So it's Black Adam panel.
For everyone watching, please make sure you tune into The Flash when it returns in 2021. The Flash, the complete 6th season, is available now on digital and comes out on Blu-ray and DVD on August 25th.
So, this is the DC Fandome. Wow, what a cool place to be. You think you've seen it all? Not even close. Another big game announcement is on the way. Plus, panel discussions with cast of Black Adam, Aquaman, and the Batman. And now for some more of your fan questions. Check it out.
Okay, so now it's black. So what are we having is we are having Black Adam panel undi present. అది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత we are having Aquaman 1 ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ జేసన్ మోమో రావట్లేదు కానీ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ డైరెక్టర్
I would
అండ్
like to. I mean, honestly, as a nerd,
ఆర్మ్ క్యారెక్టర్
seeing the whole table of superheroes,
స్టీవర్ట్ ప్యాట్రిక్
I got chills, and
తో
it would
కలిపి
be cool to be like
అండ్ దెన్
Justice League out.
వీఆర్
That would
హ్యావింగ్
be awesome.
షజామ్
So
ప్యానల్
I would love
షజామ్
for
ప్యానల్
that to
కూడా
happen.
ఉంది
And
సో ఐ హోప్
as far as him to say,
there is a
I don't know.
crossover
I was not a
between
fan of him going. So
Shazam and Black Adam. Actually, I'm actually looking forward to Shazam and Black Adam more than Black Adam and Superman. సో వాళ్ళిద్దరి ఫైట్ కూడా ఒకసారి నాకు చూడాలని ఉంది. హండ్రెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్ ఆఫ్ నాలెడ్జ్ వర్సెస్ ఎకిడ్. And then we're having Suicide Squad game కూడా ఉంది. So let's see.
Incredible artists, including you. Let's take a look at some of your amazing art created by our talented fans right now.
ఆ న్యూస్ అయితే మరి తెలియదు మరి ఏం చేస్తారో బ్రో సాయి తరుణ్. మేబీ మార్చచ్చు ఆర్ మేబీ రీప్లేస్ చేయొచ్చు ఆర్ ఆ క్యారెక్టరే లేకుండా చేయొచ్చు. దట్స్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ జేమ్స్ వాన్. ఆయన మనసులో ఏముందో మనకేం తెలీదు. సో లెట్స్ హోప్ ఫర్ ద బెస్ట్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ సమ్ అమేజింగ్ ఆర్ట్స్. రాబిన్, Wonder Woman, Batman, cool arts. So Supergirl, Batman, Justice League 2. Okay.
Wow, such amazing
Okay.
art.
We are back to Black Adam panel.
Black Adam art piece in there?
Yes.
I wonder what else might be in the store for Black Adam.
ఓకే, సో ఇది టీజర్ యాక్చువల్గా రాక్ రిలీజ్ చేశారు.
For a very long time. This is the one. This is the one that's going to change everything.
శ్రీకర్, ద బ్యాట్మ్యాన్ ప్యానల్ ఈజ్ అట్ 6 AM, 6 o'clockకి. అదే లాస్ట్.
Is Black Adam.
Yes, Black Adam. Oh God. So one of the hyped up movies. So let's see.
5,000 years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic. Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done, and they imprisoned me for it. Now, 5,000 years later, I'm free. And I give you my word. No one will ever stop me again.
సో ఈ మూవీ వెనంలా ఉంటుంది అనుకుంటున్నారా?
You guys at the first ever DC Fandome. You guys are watching from around the world. You're excited. I'm excited. And I got to tell you, first of all, I got to give props to my two friends, Jim Lee and Boss Logic, who teamed up with me to create that really amazing piece that I was so proud to show you guys. Just to give you guys a little sense of the Black Adam movie that we plan to create and deliver for you. Now, I wish I could show you more, a lot more, but as you can imagine, we're still in the very early processes of this creation. But I can promise all of you this, all of you around the world right now watching, I can promise you this, I give you my word, that we are going to go beyond your wildest expectations. And I already know this because your expectations are high, so are mine. Look, at the end of the day, I truly have one boss that I aim to please, besides my wife and my daughters. And that boss, of
course, is you guys, the fans, the audience. Always audience first.
No,
in Marvel.
I think it's
Alright,
going
so,
to be like
I know you guys got a lot of
anti-hero,
questions.
not complete
I'm
villain,
gonna
but
do my best to
anti-hero
answer as many
అనుకుంటున్నాను
as I
నేనైతే.
can. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. All right, the first question comes in from June Rodriguez of the United States. The question is, how powerful can we expect Black Adam to be? Well, great question, Jude. Thank you for asking that question. As we all know, Black Adam is one of the most powerful superheroes, anti-heroes.
So
villains,
DC
whatever you
next
wanna call
phase
Black
లో
Adam. He is
నాకు
one of the most powerful in the DC universe. But as we all
well
know,
actually
the
ఎప్పుడో
superheroes,
చెప్పానులే
they have to
I really love
exhibit a little
to
bit of
watch Black Adam how it
restraint
unfolds,
when it
and I'm
comes
also
to
hyped up
taking
for
care of bad
Aquaman
guys,
2,
if you will, or taking care of the people who
the
are
next
opposite them,
adventure and
who
all.
are opposing them,
And
who are in their way.
Marvels లో
But this
అయితే
idea that you could
well
take all of
Marvel
Black
is
Adam's
a completely
powers
different story.
and he does not practice restraint.
Small characters ని
That
తీసుకున్నారు,
makes for a
and
really powerful,
yeah, everything is
combination,
like
and one that's explosive, one
different
that's very
genre.
dangerous,
So
and one
అన్నిటికంటే
that is
మాత్రం నాకు
ultimately,
బాగా hyped up
I think,
అయింది
very likable.
Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Next question
That's one
comes
of
in from
my
Jaden Marvel of Singapore.
okay. Hold
The
on.
question is, if you could take any DC character to join you in an adventure, who would it be and why? The number one choice on who I would love to take with me on an adventure would be Wonder Woman. I'll tell you why. No, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, of course you would, Rock. No. Look, Gal is my friend. She's a very good friend of mine. But the character of Wonder Woman is one that I have such a tremendous amount of respect for. I've always thought that this combination of Wonder Woman and Black Adam would make an incredible pairing. So this idea that we would go on an adventure together is something very cool. The other part to this answer is, I always thought that it might be cool to hang out with Superman. That would be cool, right? I mean, we're kind of similar in terms of our powers, our strengths, our speeds. Because look, at the end of the day, you never know. Black Adam and Superman could become friends. Or they won't.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see.
Hinting on future.
All right, this next question comes from Caleb Hammocks from the UK. The question is, out of all the characters you could have played, what is it about Black Adam that stuck out to you
Hold
that
on a
makes
second,
him unique?
guys.
It's a great question, Caleb. Thank you very much. Caleb or Caleb, I hope I pronounced your name right. As many of you know, Black Adam has been with me for a very, very long time. This has been a project that has been in development for a very long time, over 10 years plus with myself,
Yes,
our producer,
it's,
Hiram Garcia, who's the president of $7 Productions.
Actually, Rock,
this has been in our DNA,
he's
in our
trying
wiring
so
for such
hard
a long
to
time.
play
One of
as
the main things that I
Black
always
Adam.
loved and admired about Black Adam was, number one, he was an anti-hero. He is an anti-hero. I love that. I love that the line is a little blurred. I love that he doesn't toe the mark. I love that he doesn't walk the line. I love that he has his own sense of Black Adam justice. I also love the fact that his origins are that of a slave. When the origins are that of somebody who is enslaved, his people enslaved, his family enslaved, and he's felt the burdens and the pressures of a larger entity holding him down until he can't take it anymore. And when you come from that place, it's just a different energy and a vibe, different mana that you have. So I've always loved that about Black Adam, which informs how Black Adam operates, how he sees justice, how he delivers justice. And I've always appreciated that about Black Adam.
So actually Black Adam ఏంటంటే he is so polarizing character అన్నమాట. కొన్ని కామిక్ దాంట్లో ఓకే ఇండియా అంట. Hold on a second. Okay, this is the question I want to say.
Villain or a hero. I love this question, and my stripped away honest answer is yes. As we all know, there's many variations and iterations of Black Adam that we have all fallen in love with over the years. Excuse me, over the years. And
సో యాక్చువల్గా బ్లాక్
what I
యాడమ్
can
ఏంటంటే
promise
కొన్ని
you is the Black Adam that I
కామిక్స్లో
feel in
హీ
my
వాజ్
heart
ఫుల్
is
ఆన్
the
విలన్
right
అనమాట.
one
హీస్ కంప్లీట్లీ
to root
రూత్లెస్,
our story in.
సో
In the
పవర్ఫుల్,
beginning,
సో
this origin
హెల్
story,
బెంట్ ఆన్
this is a character
అకంప్లిషింగ్,
that will
అంటే తనకి
possess
ఏమైనా
all the
కావాలంటే హీ
qualities that
యూజ్
we
హిస్
have
పవర్,
loved,
అబ్యూజింగ్
regardless
ఆఫ్
of
పవర్
what
అండ్ ఆల్.
variation of Black
బట్
Adam you've loved,
కొన్ని
which he is
కామిక్స్లో ఏంటంటే
ruthless.
మాత్రం
He's a
హీస్
ruthless keeper of justice. He is the
నేను
judge, the
చెప్పిందే
jury,
ఇప్పుడు.
and the executioner.
సో యా,
And
సో
he
కొన్ని కామిక్స్లో ఏంటంటే హీస్
believes
యాంటీ
in an
హీరో.
eye for an eye, and he will
So
always do
we don't
everything
know
he can
what
to
comics they are
protect
going to
his
follow.
people, more so protect his family. So that is my answer, and thank you for your question. All right, so here we go. This next question, it's a video question coming in via video. All right, cool, roll it.
Okay, video.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Dwayne? How you doing, man? My question is, I just want to know how you're feeling about the fact that I'm coming for your squat game. I'm just curious.
Well, you know what? Look, I'm glad, Noah, that you said that, because there's a difference between coming for my squat game, different than, Adam Smasher coming for Black Adam's squat game. It's a big difference. So you know what? I welcome it. Dude, good to see you, man. How you been?
Good to see you, too. I've been really good, man. Excited to be here. Excited to be a part of the team, man.
Man, it's so cool to have you be part of this team and to bring Adam
Yeah.
Smasher to life, JSA to life,
I know,
to bring this
Raj,
entire
exactly.
universe that we're going to create together to life.
So I
talk
want
me a little bit about your workouts. I know you've been training
see
hard,
this
despite us
combo
being
of
locked down.
Rock and
How is that
Zachary Levi.
going? Let the fans know.
His
It's been
humor
really
and
good. There's a lot
Rock
of different
యొక్క
precautions that we
charisma
take now, but it's been a lot of
రెండు
training
కలిపి
outside, on
they are
the
perfect
tarmac
match
or,
actually గా
on the
polar
turf,
opposites
a lot of
and
sled
perfect
work,
match.
a lot of hypertrophy
ఆ
training,
మ్యాచ్
if
చూడాలని
you
ఉంది యాక్చువల్ గా నాకు.
But it's just
So
grinding. You know what that's
let's
like,
hope for
man.
the
It's
best
just a
in
lot of
future.
hard work and just trying to do the best that I can to be ready to come and deliver when it's game day.
Man, you're going to crush this role. I can't wait. I love that you said that you're training on the tarmac, right? So, and the fact that you're on the tarmac means it's about 120 degrees on that tarmac.
Oh, it's warm down here.
Well, man, really quickly, I know that a lot of fans are super excited that we are introducing JSA after all these years. And what is it about Adam Smasher, which, by the way, is one of my favorite characters, especially, when you see him just grow so large and everything is like just so badass and powerful. What is it about the character that attracted you?
Man, I think Al, his real name Al Rothstein. I feel like he really has something to prove, especially with his lineage of where his grandfather was kind of a villain, and he's got quite a spirit.
So,
to just help.
what are you
And what I
guys
love
thinking?
about the
Is
character is that,
Black Adam
he goes
villain
through
గా
this
ఉంటాడా
transformation
or
throughout
anti
the
hero గా
film,
ఉంటాడా
where
or
I think he's not
positive గా చూపిస్తారా?
expecting
What's your
the
opinion?
world
Comment down.
of being a superhero, because this is his first mission. It kind of just like hits him across the face, and so it's this journey that he goes on of what it means to be a superhero, and he gets to really see someone like Black Adam who takes a different approach, clearly, to solving a problem or fighting bad guys. And it's an exciting character. It's a young character. It's a new, fresh face. And I don't mind being the size of the Eiffel Tower or the Empire State Building. That'd be pretty tight.
I've seen some of the early like previs and renditions, and I got to tell you, it's so cool to see Adam Smasher next to Black Adam, and how especially
no,
when
as Deepak, I
your
don't think
character,
it's going to be an origin
becomes
story.
even more
ఎందుకంటే
powerful and he
ఈ
grows.
ప్యానెల్ స్టార్టింగ్
It's
లోనే
just
తన
such an incredible
ఒరిజిన్
visual
స్టోరీ
to see
ఆల్రెడీ
Adam
మనకు
Smasher
చూపించడం
just so
జరిగింది
big and badass.
with the help of
And,
boss logic,
Black Adam
illustrations
is
and all.
reduced.
So I think and
it's just-
ending lo
it's
kuda
awesome, man.
we
And-
saw
and,
some
I'm
military
so
people
happy
and
you're
all.
on board, and I know you've been working your ass
yeah,
off.
I
And
think
personally, for me, I want to thank you so much for
modern
working
day
so
లో
hard.
ఉంటదని
This has
అనుకుంటున్నాను
been a
after the
passion project, a
imprisonment,
dream of mine for many, many years.
because
So I
people
thank
will be
you.
bored.
My heart is full of gratitude, brother, for all the
5,000
hard
years
work that
before
you've put in. And this is
చూపించిందంతా
only
కూడా.
the beginning. I can't wait to get on
Yeah,
set with you. and we're
it's a
gonna
good guess
crush this
actually
movie.
గా origin కూడా
I'm so
చూడొచ్చు,
stoked,
but
man. I
I
can't
don't think
wait.
it's
Thank
a
you for having me
full
on board.
feature
So
film
grateful,
material.
seriously.
Well, so cool to see my boy Noah. Can't wait for you guys to see him in the movie. He's going to kick ass. All right, now, I tried to get through as many questions as I possibly could. There were literally thousands and thousands of them. And a lot of the questions were about the JSA, the Justice Society of America, and who from the JSA is going to be in our movie. Well, I don't want to reveal too much this early on, but I thought this might answer some of your questions. Take a look.
Okay.
I have a knack for destroying bullies. But there are some who think I
Hawkman.
need help.
Oh god. Yes.
Hawkman.
Ooh. Okay.
Dr.
Fate. Oh,
and their new recruits.
baby.
Cyclone.
That was awesome.
And Atom Smasher.
Atom Smasher.
They call themselves the
Justice League Society of America.
An organization that believes in fighting
Oh
for
god.
truth
So
and
this
justice.
got my heart so much.
Well, I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. Welcome to Truth, Justice, and the Black Adam Way.
So Sai Tarun, Atom Smasher can grow up just like Ant-Man.
And certainly a lot of
And
fun that we are
Justice
all
Society
excited
of
about to
America
deliver to you
lo
guys.
everyone is powerful
I can't
actually.
wait to show you more.
Hawkman
But
is
before I go,
Black
I want
Adam
you guys
యొక్క
to help me
nemesis
out with
అన్నమాట
something.
from
Something's
the
pretty
olden
important. I need you guys to help me get a message
days and
out
all.
to some of the other ones. Some of the other DC superheroes.
Okay, Justice League.
Let's let Flash, Shazam,
Okay.
Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Let's let them know something.
Okay.
Things will never be the same.
Slow
Because the
zoom in.
hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
That smile, that small smile in the middle. He's so charismatic,
Wow,
man.
that was amazing. I'm so excited to see Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. And with that, I'm going to hand this back over
Yeah,
to Asia.
I
Take
think
it away.
it's going to be
Thank
not
you,
in the
Lily. That was so cool. By the way, guys,
so complete modern lo కాకుండా I think it will be in 1990s or 1980s. సో ఆ టైంలో ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది అనుకుంటున్నాను బట్ యా హూ నోస్ సో దే ఆర్ ప్లానింగ్ సంథింగ్ రైట్ ఐ థింక్ ఇది ఒక వేలో వెళ్తే బాగుంటుంది సో ఏ స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ వే సో ఆ పార్ట్స్ అన్నీ మీట్ అవ్వడం లైక్ ఒక మార్వెల్ చేసినట్టుగా ఆల్ ఇండివిజువల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ అంతా కలిపి ఒక ఫైనల్ మూవీతో ఎండ్ అవ్వడం సో ఇలాంటి టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఏవైనా డీసీ ప్లాన్ చేసి యూనో క్రైసిస్ లాంటి ఒక ఈవెంట్ని ప్లాన్ చేస్తే ఇట్ విల్ బీ టూ అవసరం యూనో ఆ టైం ట్రావెలింగ్కి ఫ్లాష్ ఉన్నాడు అండ్ యునో చాలా వేరియస్ యూనివర్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి ఇన్బిల్ట్ ఆఫ్ డీసీలో ఉన్నాయి వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ అమెజాన్ అండ్ ఒక పక్కన అట్లాంటిస్ ఉంది ఇంకో పక్కన వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ దిస్ మిస్టికల్ వే త్రూ బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ అండ్ షజామ్ సో యా ఆ టైప్ ఆఫ్ వే సో డైవర్స్గా ఉంది ప్రజెంట్ అయితే సో దే హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది జస్టిస్ లీగ్ షాడో అండ్ రైట్ నౌ దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ది కరెక్ట్ వే యాక్చువల్గా సో హార్లీ క్విన్ లాంటి మూవీస్లో అయితే హీల్ కమ్ త్రూ క్రైమ్ అండ్ ఆల్ అండ్ యా యాక్చువల్గా బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ కి ఏజ్ లాంటివి అవ్వడానికిలే ఉండవు సో ఇట్స్ సో బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ 5000 ఇయర్స్కి ఇంప్రిజన్ అయి ఉంది సో మేబీ హూ నోస్ అండ్ సో బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ ఏంటంటే హీ మే హ్యావ్ గోన్ అగైన్ ఇన్ టు ఇంప్రిజన్మెంట్ త్రూ జేఎస్ఏ అండ్ దెన్ అవేకెన్ బై షజామ్ ఎందుకంటే మీరు చూసినట్టయితే షజామ్ లో ఒక సీట్ ఎంటీగా ఉంది దట్ వాజ్ ఎ రిఫరెన్స్ టు బ్లాక్ యాడమ్ సో మేబీ అది కూడా అవ్వచ్చు ఓకే a small
get some toilet paper and make sure
Batman
we wear our
cartoon.
masks when we go out.
I always wear a mask.
Okay.
We all do.
None of you are wearing the right kind of mask.
Crossover between cartoon Batmans.
I'm wearing a mask. Your masks are like you cut the most important parts of the mask off on purpose.
We get it.
They couldn't be more useless, pandemic-wise.
Thank you.
I should know.
Because you're from the future. Yes, we understand.
Do you? And another thing.
So right now
Gee,
manaki
do you
panels
think his
ఏ
connection
ఉన్నాయి?
got cut off?
Let me check
Or do
the
you think our
panels.
actions erased his
Okay,
timeline?
We can
time is
only hope.
4, so we are having CNN heroes, corona కి related. ఆ
Guys,
తర్వాత
today's
టైటాన్స్
all about
ప్యానల్
the
ఉంది
superheroes that we
420
all love.
అండ్
And in that spirit,
Aquaman
let's
panel.
celebrate the men and women out there who don't get nearly
Okay.
enough fanfare. They suit up daily and battle the bad in the world in an effort to make the universe a safer place for all of us. They don't wear capes, but they do wear masks. And their superpower is their selfless dedication to others. They are the real-life superheroes in the fight against a global enemy, COVID-19. Take a look.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. I hope you're enjoying your time here in the DC Fandome. As you spend today celebrating your favorite DC superheroes, we'd like to introduce you to some real-life heroes, everyday people who see a need and jump in to help. While COVID-19 continues to spread, so do the efforts of these incredible people who bring us hope and inspiration every day. CNN Heroes salute some of the courageous and innovative people working together to get us through the crisis. Now, more than ever, the world needs heroes.
Sorry guys, I'm typing it.
At a time of social distancing, empathy and compassion are alive and well.
So present ఏంటంటే 5 వరకు there is no interesting panel. So ఏం చేద్దాం, let's shall we continue the live or మళ్ళీ 5 కి కంటిన్యూ మళ్ళీ లైవ్ కి వద్దామా? What do you guys say?
And to stay healthy.
ఏం చేద్దాం?
As healthcare workers risk their own lives battling the virus on the front lines, innovative citizens are turning passion projects
నాకు ఎలాగైనా
into
ఓకే
potentially life-saving
కంటిన్యూ
ventures.
చేయమంటే చేస్తాను, or
The
else
teenagers' website has been tracking the virus
I'll come
since
back
December.
later live on
It was
5
really
again.
hard to just get straight facts, so I decided that it would be kind of cool if I made a website to make the data more accessible for other people.
And in Italy, a company used their 3D printers to build life-saving respirator parts that were in dangerously short supply. For those whose work can't be done from home, many CEOs and leaders are providing financial support.
This is people's lives at stake. This isn't about basketball. This isn't about the Mavericks.
How many? So 2? Alright, there's 2.
Across the globe, communities are
No,
making
actually
sure people have food.
I've already slept in the
And
afternoon.
stores and restaurants are
So
doing what they can to help others.
ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ అంతా కూడా పడుకునే ఉన్నాను, సో నాకైతే టైర్డ్ ఏం లేదు. సో ఇట్స్ యువర్ విష్, మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేద్దాం అంటే కంటిన్యూ చేద్దాం, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ 5 కి రమ్మంటే మళ్ళీ లెట్స్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ లైవ్ ఆన్ 5. నాకు ఏదైనా ఓకే.
Into community kitchens to serve those in need.
We need to be part of the solution.
And strangers have become shopping angels to support those who can't leave their homes. Even though we've been told to stay apart, the rallying call for prevention and protection brings us together on social media.
If you wash your hands and do not touch your face, then the world will be a better place.
As the country and the world navigate daily life during a pandemic, it's good to know that compassion continues to live on.
So 5 ki we are having Shazam panel, okay, and then we are having Wonder Woman cast play ఏదో ఉంది, it's a play అనుకుంటాను. So and then we are having WB game, we are having ఏం గేమ్ ఉంది? Okay, hold on a second guys. Okay, so we are having Suicide Squad game undi, and then 6 o'clock ki Batman panel undi. So okay, if you want, let's okay అయితే బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అయితేనే we shall continue in the ఈవినింగ్. ఈవినింగ్ అయితే కంప్లీట్ బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అయితే నేను ప్లాన్ చేశాను. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ టు గ్యాదర్ సమ్ క్లూస్ కూడా గ్యాదర్ చేయాలి. సో అదంతా కలిపి ఈవినింగ్ వీడియో ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. సో ప్లీజ్ చెక్అవుట్ ఈవినింగ్ కానీ ఆర్ నెక్స్ట్ డే కానీ, బికాజ్ ఈ దెబ్బకి నాకు తెలిసి ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ మొత్తం పడుకుంటాను. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ టు ఎడిట్ ద వీడియో అండ్ ఆల్. సో let's see what happens. If I'm not tired
was
and I am
the
managing
community
enough, let's
that
continue.
poured in to help. We got over 200 foster applications in a week, and usually we get 20 in a week.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk about Twix.
Yeah.
Hi, Twix.
We started working on protocols around contact-free
ఎస్దీపక్ పెద్ద ప్యానలే ఉండదు. సో ఇట్స్ ఆక్వామ్యాన్ 1 గురించి అనమాట. ఆక్వామ్యాన్ 1 యొక్క BTS ఉంటుంది తప్ప ఆక్వామ్యాన్ 2 అనౌన్స్మెంట్ అయితే ఏం లేదు. ఐవ్ సీన్ ఇట్ ఆక్వామ్యాన్ ప్యానల్లో. డైరెక్టర్ జేమ్స్ వాన్ అండ్ ప్యాట్రిక్ విల్సన్ టేక్ ఎ డీప్ డైవ్ ఇన్ టు వరల్డ్ ఆఫ్ అట్లాంటిస్ దట్ వాన్ క్రియేటెడ్, రివీలింగ్ their favorite behind the scenes moments from the largest DC movie ever. No, it's not a Aquaman 2. So it's just behind the scenes of Aquaman 1. సో కంటిన్యూ చేసేద్దాం అంటే చేద్దాం. ఓకే, మీ ఇష్టం, అది నాకేం పర్వాలేదు. వెయిట్ ఎ మినిట్. సో ఎలాగో ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి లెట్స్ టేక్ ఎ లుక్ ఎట్ వాట్ షెల్ వి డూ. ఏం చేద్దాం? సో మళ్ళీ కాపీరైట్ స్ట్రైక్ పడుతుంది నాకు. సో ఐఎమ్ చెక్కింగ్ ఏం చేద్దామని. సో ఇట్స్ ఏ రిపీట్. ఎన్కోర్ అంటే ఇప్పటివరకు జరిగిందంతా కూడా మళ్ళీ 2 times రిపీట్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. సో ఫ్రమ్ 6:30 ఇట్ విల్ బి రిపీటింగ్ అగైన్ ఫర్ 2 times. మొత్తం అంతా కూడా 2 times రిపీట్ అవుతుంది. చేయడానికి కూడా ఏం లేదు, అంతా కాపీరైట్ పడేలాగే ఉంది. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ కాపీరైట్. బ్రేక్ డౌన్ చేయడానికి కూడా ఏం లేవే. ఓకే, పీక్ ఈజ్ 35.
During these uncertain times, they're giving us love, and that ultimately we should always.
So encore ante it's repeat. So you guys won't miss anything. Event anta kuda 6:30 varaku, 6:30 nunchi malli idi. Okay, flash. 3D printer. Okay. So these guys are kids, chinna pillalu. They are helping in COVID situation. So Sdeep, I am from Andhra Pradesh, Kakinada.
It's the middle of May. It's still 35 degrees out in the morning.
ఇప్పుడు గేమ్ ఇంకొక ఎలాగో 30 మినిట్స్కి గేమ్ ఎందుకు యా యాక్చువల్లీ వీఆర్ ప్లానింగ్ ఆన్ గేమ్స్ పబ్జీ మొబైల్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ అండ్ అప్ and CSGO stream, Valorant stream. So we are planning some streams, but it's gonna take time. So we are planning on rebranding it. So ఈ లైవ్ కూడా యాక్చువల్గా చెయ్యాలనుకోలేదు బట్ యా ఒక చిన్న ట్రైల్ లాగా అనమాట. సో యా ఫ్యూచర్లో ఇంకేమైనా ఈవెంట్స్ ఉన్నా సరే we are trying to do it even if it's a small game event or anything, not only Marvel and DC but upcoming events anta kuda we are going to have game events, game reveals avanta kuda undi. So adanta kuda plan chestunnam. Sasha Shah, hey bro, hey Sasha Shah, Kurosaki. ఓకే బ్రో నాకు జాపనీస్ రాదు, సారీ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏ యానిమే వాచర్. ఉన్న గేమ్స్ టీవీ సిరీస్ మూవీస్కే టైం సరిపోవట్లేదు. సో మళ్ళీ యానిమేస్ కూడా అంటే నాకు కష్టం. సో ప్లీజ్ నన్ను వదిలేండి యానిమేస్లో మాత్రం. యానిమేస్కి వేరే అడ్మిన్స్ వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు మా ప్యానల్లో. So what do you guys say? Any suggestions about page and YouTube streams? So actually interaction is the key. So మీరు ఎంత interact అయితే we'll try to develop that much. So and we're also planning on news related things. So small events ki మొన్న రాత్రి బ్యాట్మ్యాన్కి చేసాం. సో అలాగా వీఆర్ ఆల్సో ప్లానింగ్ ఆన్ అప్కమింగ్ స్మాల్ న్యూస్ అనమాట. సో యా వీఆర్ ప్లానింగ్ దెమ్.
Across India, many daily wage workers struggle to afford food after the national lockdown stopped their incomes.
We are students studying in the UK, Queen's University Belfast.
Mohammed and his brother Sultan have been studying in Northern Ireland, but when lockdown was imposed, they flew home to Chennai and started the initiative Feed the Needy.
Some Indian
so we were thinking about how to make a difference on how to use our experience, what we gained at the university. So we used that experience to pool a group of volunteers, and we are providing for 1,000 people on a daily basis.
It's not quite what they imagined they'd be doing right now.
So we would have been technically going for internships or applying for jobs, but yeah, that's life has brought us here now.
And it's lucky that it has, for the thousands here waiting in line for much needed food.
Okay. So dark side is blasting out corona.
Amidst the current public health crisis,
yeah, Kurosaki, gameplay choosanu. It's okay, it's better than Marvel's Avengers though. Even in pre-alpha stage lo kuda. సో ఎందుకో నాకు మార్వెల్ గేమ్ మీద పెద్ద ఇంప్రెషన్ అయితే లేదు. సో ఇట్స్ బెటర్ బట్ దే కుడ్ హ్యావ్ డన్ బెటర్. గౌతమ్ నైట్స్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ అప్ టు మై ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్. బోత్ ఆర్ వెరీ ప్రిటీ యావరేజ్ గేమ్స్. బట్ చూద్దాం, ఇంకా ఎర్లీ స్టేజెస్లోనే ఉంది కదా. సో let's hope they improve the game.
Scale and bring together a large number of volunteers to be able to push those meals out. With COVID-19, we have actually had to rethink how we do things.
He rented space in his hometown of Kansas City, where a few volunteers were making meals for the homeless. But he knew more was needed.
We got to thinking about, well, why not restaurants? We could pay them to reopen and bring back employees to be able to do the meals that we need to do.
Okay.
The owner of one local restaurant, Stan's plan was a game changer.
The change in emotion went from not knowing what the next day was going to hold to one of hope.
He'd been forced to close one of his locations, laying off 40 employees.
In my 28 years of management, it was the most horrible thing I've ever had to do. When you're a small business owner, these aren't just your employees, they're the ones that are facilitating your
Deepak,
dream.
I don't actually remember my Valorant ID. నేను ఎప్పుడో ఫస్ట్ లో ఆడాను, ఆ తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇంకా ఆడలేదు. సో I have to check it up. పేజ్ కి మెసేజ్ చేస్తే I'll tell you later. Yeah, actually we are planning on Valorant stream this week. Valorant and CS:GO stream. So yeah, let's see if it proves success. ఇంకా ట్రై చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. ఈ స్ట్రీమ్స్ అంటే కొంచెం అలవాటు పడాలి కదా, సో పీపుల్ కూడా. సో ప్లీజ్ మెసేజ్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎ క్రూ ఆర్ ఎనీ గ్రూప్, యూ కెన్ మెసేజ్ ఫర్ ద పేజ్ సో దట్ వీ కెన్ కంబైన్లీ ప్లే. డిస్కౌంట్ సర్వర్ కూడా ఉంది పేజ్కి, అది పబ్లిక్ కాదు, సో కొంతమంది ప్రైవేట్గా మాత్రమే ఇచ్చాము.
California and Pennsylvania.
The true advantage to the restaurant model is that it can be replicated across the United States. They're not all barbecue restaurants, but we're still providing that hot, comforting meal.
For him, this recipe is simple.
It keeps businesses open, it keeps people employed, and it keeps people fed. We can't do it all by ourselves. I mean, this is one of those things, you know, we can do so much more together than we can divided.
So what else, guys? So anything, let's go to Arkham game once. చూద్దాం అసలు. Where is it? Official gameplay. సో ఇదైతే PS4కి అండ్ Xbox One-కి కాదు. సో ఇట్స్ ఫర్ నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్ ఆఫ్ కన్సోల్స్ అండ్ PC 2021 రిలీజ్. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ రియల్ టైమ్, కట్ సీన్ అయితే కాదు.
It's a short clip from one of Gotham Knight's villain crimes in a pre-alpha build. This mission is halfway through the Mr. Freeze storyline, and we're playing Batgirl a dozen or so hours into her character progression.
ఓకే, సో మనకి ఏంటంటే స్టోరీ లైన్స్ ఉంటాయన్నమాట. సో ఫర్ మిస్టర్ ఫ్రీజ్ స్టోరీ లైన్ ఇది. సో దెర్ ఆర్ స్టోరీ లైన్స్ ఫర్ అదర్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ టూ. సో కోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఔల్స్ యొక్క ఇది. సో ఎస్ దీపక్, యాక్చువల్గా 2021 అంటే ఇంకా నువ్వు నెక్స్ట్ కన్సోల్ అని అనుకోవచ్చు. బికాజ్ యాక్చువల్గా ఇది ప్రీ ఆల్ఫా స్టేజ్లో ఉంది కాబట్టి ఇట్ వోంట్ బి స్టేబుల్. సో ఐ థింక్ ఇది 2021 ఫాల్ అంటే ఈ సెప్టెంబర్ అక్టోబర్ ఆ టైంలో రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది. సో మోస్ట్లీ ఇట్స్ నెక్స్ట్ జెన్ కన్సోల్స్. కరెంట్ జెన్ అయితే మాత్రం రిలీజ్ చేయరు నాకు తెలిసి. సో ఈ పార్టికల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్, ఈ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఇవన్నీ చూసుకుంటే ఇవి మోస్ట్లీ ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ జెన్ కన్సోల్స్ అనే అనుకుంటున్నాను నేనైతే. అండ్ సిటీ స్కేల్ కూడా బాగా ఎక్కువ ఉంది. సో యా, ఆల్ హింట్స్ ఆన్ నెక్స్ట్ జెన్ కన్సోల్.
All units at Elliott Center. Air support inbound. Hostiles opening fire on upper floors. Air support, can you do a fly around?
Freeze has recently returned to Gotham with a mysterious agenda that involves manipulating the weather to flash freeze the city.
We need a way to get through that ice.
An important goal for Gotham Knights was that players can play all of the game either solo or in two-player co-op.
Okay, so it's a solo single-player story or two-player co-op. Contrary to others, 4-player kaadu. So it's two-player co-op. Sasha, I didn't get you. Warner Bros and DC are joining. I didn't get you.
They'll get it.
Robin's learned how to access the Justice League satellite for short-range teleportation. Meanwhile, Batgirl has mastered some more familiar techniques. And developed a few new ones of her own.
Montoya here. Heard you're down there having some fun.
Fun's one word for it.
Just a heads up, the chopper's under orders to fire.
Is it at the end? I didn't see PS4 and PS4. Okay, PS5 అనుకుంటాను. Yeah, maybe అవ్వచ్చు. Mostly అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి PS4కి అండ్ PS5కి. Okay.
If anyone asks, I meant to do that.
I won't say a word.
I saw something.
I won't say a word.
Okay.
Tours were still going on when Freeze came through.
So it's iదేంటి Gotham police station and it's kind of giving vibes of police stations. Vibe
Knights is built to let players approach each challenge with their preferred style.
Okay, so
and their preferred build.
We are having stealth gameplay and direct action gameplay.
This will only take a second.
So it's RPG kind of games. We are having XP to the side too. Yeah.
No precision.
So let's fast forward a bit, a couple of minutes. So actually ఈ ప్రాంప్ట్ చూస్తే I think it's Xbox కాదు, it's a పిఎస్లో రన్ అవుతుంది ఇది. ద బటన్ ప్రాంప్ట్ సర్కిల్. సో ఇది పిఎస్లో అయితే చేయడం అయితే పిఎస్లో రన్ అవుతున్నట్టుంది, ఆర్ నాకు తెలిసి పీసీ విత్ పిఎస్ కంట్రోలర్.
These cables on the floor. Guaranteed they lead to Freeze.
సో ద ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ ఈజ్ వెరీ రిచ్, డీటెయిల్డ్, అదంతా కూడా బాగుంది. పార్టికల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ అదంతా బాగున్నాయి. నో బ్రో, అన్నిటికంటే ఫ్లాషే బాగుంటుంది ఇన్ ద సిడబ్ల్యూ షోస్. యారో ఈజ్ వాచబుల్ ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ 3-4 సీజన్స్ అంతే. మళ్ళీ లాస్ట్ సీజన్స్ బాగుంటాయి, బట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ రికమెండెడ్. వెల్, actually I play PC games with PS controller too. That's not a big issue. Almost చాలా మంది PS developers అదే చేస్తారు.
Field disruptors in place. It's charging.
So, Mr. Freeze.
Get away from my storm engine.
Is that what you're calling it? You don't want to be on the roof when this disruptor goes off. Trust me.
Irrelevant. I already have what I need.
సాయివర్ధన్ ప్రెసెంట్ అయితే హోల్డ్ ఆన్ ఎ సెకండ్.
See about that.
ఓకే, ఇట్స్ టైటాన్స్ ప్యానల్ అంట. చూద్దాం.
Have someone come down and arrest us. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Your mother would be very proud.
I have to give it up to Orphe. My stunt double really does all the work
she's
when it comes
so
to having to navigate
good.
those wings, because
Double.
the weight of them just takes you. So you really have to learn.
So I
how to
prefer
move
PC and
them,
PS5
throw yourself around.
because ఎక్స్బాక్స్ గేమ్స్ అన్నీ కూడా పీసీలో ఆడుకోవచ్చు, బట్ PS5 ఈజ్ ఫర్ ఎక్స్క్లూసివిటీ. సో ఐ ప్రిఫర్ పీసీ అండ్ PS5.
Corey, what are you? Stop.
Heck yeah.
హిప్ హాప్ ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ మార్వెల్కి ఈవెంట్ ఏమి ఉండదు ప్రజెంట్. సో బికాజ్ వాళ్ళకి పెద్ద కంటెంట్ ఏం లేదు చూపించడానికి. దే ఆల్వేస్ రివీల్డ్. సో కంటెంట్ బాగా తక్కువ ఉంటుంది అనమాట ఇప్పటి వరకు బయటికి రాంది. సో అది మరి ఎంతవరకు సో ఫ్యాన్స్ విల్ బి డిసప్పాయింటెడ్ యాక్చువల్గా ఉన్న కంటెంట్ని చూపిస్తే. సో ఇట్స్ బెటర్ దే డోంట్ గో విత్ fandom and all and just try to stay grounded.
All right, let's look at clip 2 from episode 6, Jason Todd.
Why are you doing this?
Okay, this one idi one of the best sequences. I love it.
This is the dopest gig ever. Hanging out with Batman, kicking bad guys' asses, being famous, driving the goddamn Batmobile.
He lets you drive the Batmobile? Wouldn't you rather have your own name? Like Sparrow or Blue Jay for Jason?
No. The whole point is being Robin. Batman needs Robin. Why do you think it makes us wear those lame colors? Because we're drawing fire. Look up here! And boom. The bat lands and starts trashing ass.
Kurosaki, yeah, it's a development issues. డెవలప్మెంట్ యాక్చువల్గా అది ఎక్స్బాక్స్ 1 కని అనుకున్నారు, బట్ ఎక్స్బాక్స్ సిరీస్ ఎక్స్కి కూడా చేయాలంటే దే హ్యావ్ టు ఇంక్రీజ్ గ్రాఫిక్ అండ్ ఆల్. ఇట్ టేక్స్ టైమ్స్, ఇట్ టేక్స్ సమ్ టైమ్. సో సాషా బోత్ ఆర్ గేమ్ కన్సోల్స్, బట్ బోత్ ఆర్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ కంపెనీస్. సో డిఫరెంట్ గేమ్స్ ఉంటాయి, అంతా డిఫరెంట్ అనమాట.
And ultimately he fails in connecting with him, and that scene at the end of season 2 on the rooftop is kind of an example of Dick putting aside his problems and offering to open up that channel and you know and kind of put it on the table as, you know, I'll help you and be a mentor.
They need your leadership, Jason. You need to set the tone. I'm not Robin anymore. You are.
The next clip is quintessential Jason.
All we know is that whatever the cause of the phenomenon, it appears to have been abated by this new group of masked heroes. So, apart from some dead birds, we seem to have...
Titans are back, bitches! Woo!
You're kind of a... Why don't you get it?
Haven't you liked me? Admit it.
Never gonna happen.
సో యాక్చువల్గా ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే రైట్ నౌ DC is playing a very safe game. They're having Black Adam and most of the movies are sequels like Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 2, and we're having Shazam 2. మొత్తం అంతా కూడా సీక్వెల్స్ లాగా ఉన్నాయి. సో మార్వెల్ ఏంటంటే దే ఆర్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ లైక్ యునో playing a risky game with experimenting multiple genres, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness horror, and Shang-Chi ఏమో kind of adventure kind of thing అలాగా. అండ్ వాండా అండ్ విజన్ ఏమోని సిట్కామ్. సో వింటర్ సోల్జర్ పొలిటికల్గా అవ్వచ్చు. యా యూనో మల్టీ జోనర్ ట్రై చేస్తున్నారు. సో పెద్ద హైప్ ఉన్నదైతే ప్రజెంట్ ఏం లేవు ఇన్ మార్వెల్ ఫేజ్ 4 ఎక్సెప్ట్ ద మల్టీవర్స్ మూవీ. దెర్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ దట్ మచ్ ఆఫ్ యూనో చాలా రిస్క్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఎక్కువ ఉంది అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎటర్నల్స్, బికాజ్ స్టార్ పవర్ అదంతా కూడా ఎటర్నల్స్లో బాగా ఎక్కువ ఉంది కంపేర్డ్ టు అదర్స్, అండ్ డాక్టర్ స్ట్రేంజ్లో కూడా. సో ఆ 2 మూవీస్ కొంచెం సేఫ్‌గా ఉంటాయి. బట్ మిగతావన్నీ ఏంటంటే దే ఆర్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రిస్కీ. సో వి కాంట్ సే అంటిల్ వి వాచ్ ద ట్రైలర్స్ అండ్ వి గెట్ ఇది. HTV family is actually kind of like my family. I've been journeying with HTV from the start itself. నేను జాయిన్ అయ్యే పేజ్లో 3 years అయింది. సో హెచ్టీవీ నేను జాయిన్ అయ్యాకే వి పుట్ ఆన్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ పేజ్ పెట్టాలనుకున్నాం. ఆ తర్వాత యూట్యూబ్ పెట్టాం, టెలిగ్రామ్. సో యా వి ఇంక్రీజ్ ఎ లాట్. నేను జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు పేజ్కి 10 likes or 20 likes వచ్చేవి పోస్ట్కి. నౌ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ some thousands of likes in for a post, for a good post, and లేకపోతే మినిమం 500 అలాగా సో ఇట్స్ slowly increasing. So only we don't want to stick to memes and all, so we are trying to increase in YouTube right now. So అది. సో అండ్ స్పైడర్-మ్యాన్ 3 యాక్చువల్గా నాకు ఎంసీయూ స్పైడర్-మ్యాన్ నాకు నచ్చినా సరే హీస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అండర్ ది షాడో ఆఫ్ ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ ఫర్ సో లాంగ్. ఎంతైనా సరే ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ భజనలాగా జరిగిపోయింది మొత్తం అంతా కూడా ఫస్ట్ 2 మూవీస్. సో ఈ థర్డ్ మూవీలో అయినా సరే కొంచెం ఐరన్ మ్యాన్ని సైడ్కి చేసి పీటర్కి స్పాట్లైట్ ఇస్తారేమో అని హోపింగ్. చూద్దాం మరి how director deals with it. So let's continue it.
Dick?
That's Robin.
Sasha, thank you very much. Hope you support us in the future too.
I'm so happy to see that this scene was voted on by the fans, because it was so hard to film. I don't know if you guys remember, but we were filming in what we
hotel like 6 times or something.
Yeah, what we were lovingly calling the struggle motel in the middle of the night, and it was freezing. We went there so many times, and yeah, so I'm really glad to see that people responded to this scene.
There's a whole lot of work to do and no one to do but me. So let's get started.
And Ryan, you had that great episode where we're waiting for Connor to wake up, and you got to just do like the day over and over again.
That was a good time. Boris, our like season-long DP, was directing that episode a bit, and it was just a really intimate set than what we usually go through, because we were like,
well, actually ఎప్పటి నుంచే ప్యానల్ అదంతా కూడా ఇట్స్ స్టార్టింగ్ అప్. సో ఐ హోప్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు కంటిన్యూ ఇట్ అంటిల్ 6:30. ఐ థింక్ సో. ఇదిగో ఈ ఆక్వామ్యాన్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ గేమ్ ప్యానల్. సో హార్లే క్విన్ and then
Daenerys,
Wonder Woman.
We got a couple tastes of you at the end of last season, but now you're coming in full-fledged. But I'm not completely sold on her being all evil.
It's funny you say that, because the villain, I think the villain.
And then Shazam panel kuda undi fight anki
in a lot of movies, because there's a reason why that they're a villain, and I'm excited to see especially what gets cooked up for our duality. I would say, especially like with Corey being of the same I guess, blood or whatever we have on our planet, and but with different ability. So I think it's going to be really interesting seeing what happens.
I'm coming for you.
Good.
Will Blackfire meet the rest of her friends? Because I need to know what she thinks of this group.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have a room in Wayne Manor. Get ready. It's gonna.
No, wait, seriously?
It's gonna mix things up. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this.
This season, we're gonna bring up a new villain. And it's a villain. You know, if you've watched the show, you know that Jason Todd's had a rough run, and he had a falling out with the Titans, and it didn't end well. And even the Titans, as they kind of reunited as a team, were absent one member at the end who rode away on a motorcycle and had a fallout. And, you know, there's that African proverb, if something along the lines, you know, the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down.
I'll enjoy
that child comes back
both, bro. I'm not a single movie fan. I'll enjoy Marvel as well as DC.
All right, Karen, how do you feel about that?
All right. Yeah, I'm very excited, obviously, and I feel some pressure, but I'm ready to take it on 100%. So, and I'm very excited. I've been wanting this for a while now. So,
you know, the big change is our team goes to Gotham, and there's a whole new set of challenges that lie and wait for us in Gotham.
Gotham is filled with iconic characters. Who can you tell us that we might meet along the way?
Oh, well, you know, we've got a big one coming up in Dr. Jonathan Crane, also known as Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And we have another, you know, classic character in the canon named Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Barbara Gordon. We've got two, you know, the second gen coming up. There was originally Batman and Jim Gordon, and now we have Nightwing and Barbara Gordon trying to kind of deal with the mistakes of their parents, and it turns out a lot more difficult than anybody thought.
Cannot wait to see
Okay,
what comes up in season
so that's a
3.
good news.
I wanna
We are
thank you
having
all, and congratulations on
Scarecrow
awesome
and
runs so far.
Barbara
Thank you.
Gordon for the next season.
Over to you, Jaden.
So right now it's Aquaman panel.
Thank you, Gabby. It's great to be back with everyone. As your resident Aussie, I had to come back and talk about when director James
Well,
Wan
AOT
went down
actually
under.
గా
Then even further underwater with Jason Momoa and the brilliant cast.
అక్టోబర్ లో రిలీజ్ అవుతుందని చెప్పి అంటున్నారు. ఇట్స్ ఆన్ ట్రాక్, సో నో ఇష్యూస్ దేర్.
Long time no see.
Gotham, I didn't actually watch Gotham series until now. I'm planning on watching. అయిపోయింది కదా, సో బట్ ఐ హర్డ్ జోకర్ క్యారెక్టర్ బాగుందని విన్నాను. సో ఐ హోప్ it gives me good, but right now it's so packed, my schedule and all. Okay,
you look good.
Let's watch the panel.
Do I look like I'm on the Statue Enterprise?
Wait, should I get a fancy chair? You look ridiculous.
No, you're good. Aquaman is, what is that, Patrick? Is that the 5th film that we've collaborated together? Well, yeah, Insidious 1 and 2, Conjuring 1 and 2, and it is the 5th one. Seems like. So let me ask you, Patrick, how did you first hear about this particular project, Aquaman?
I believe we were on the set of Conjuring 2.
Yes.
And you said that you had, I don't think you weren't really signed on yet, but you knew you were going to do this project, right?
Right.
And I think you kind of floated it out there about Ocean Master, right? Or maybe it was through a text, and then we spoke the next day or something. Let me ask you, when did you think that I would be right for Aquaman?
The moment I decided I was going to do it.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
very
awesome.
early on. I'm like, you know, we know that Momoa was already on board, and I felt like the only other guy that could go up against Jason that, you know, at least to the level that I need him to step up to, was yourself. So I floated the idea with Warner Brothers, with DC, and they could
They're like, no.
No, they were very supportive from day one. So from the get-go, knowing who was going to play Aquaman and kind of knowing Jason a bit more and, you know, getting to know his personality, I felt that that,
Well,
the
Sai
reason why
Tarun,
I wanted to come to you was
I
the
don't
fact
think
that, you guys
Disney
are
అంతా
kind of
చేస్తుందని
different in a
అనుకోదు
lot of
because it's a
ways.
quite bankable project, Black Widow. So
Physically,
Mulan success మీద base అయి
so
ఉంటుంది.
I felt that going into it that it was the right thing to do, getting someone that was a little bit different to who he is, so that way it helps to add to the idea that
Yeah, I watched it.
Arthur Curry is an
చూసాను.
outsider to
Journey to
the
the
world of
West
Atlantis
story
that,
based.
that Orm has
So
kind of shaped
animations
in
బాగున్నాయి,
his sort of,
special abilities బాగున్నాయి, అన్ని బాగున్నాయి.
in his look, with his sort of mentality, and kind of and vice versa as well, how Atlantis has shaped Orm in a lot of ways. And so definitely, like in the same way I would write Arthur Curry to Jason's strength, I tried to write Orm/Ocean Master to Patrick Wilson. Patrick, let me ask you, speaking of comfortable, how comfortable was it to physically embody Ocean Master?
As soon as you look at Ocean Master in the comics, I mean, he's just jacked. I knew that I wanted to push myself because I've never done that. What we didn't know, and this will be interesting next time going through, is what the elephant in the room of being in a harness. Like, unless you're in a harness, you can't practice for that. Just doing that, being inverted.
Bye, Shasha.
Like
Thanks for tuning in.
It's nothing. It's totally fine. I'll be, just doing more sort of core exercises to get ready for that. So if I get out of jail. And if I can swim. If they're swimming. Is there swimming?
If they're swimming,
I'm curious to know what changed, right? That's sort of part 2 of the question, is what will be different about what you expected from shooting in these harnesses to what it actually ended up being. But could you visualize what these harnesses and what they would do and how they would help you?
Nothing in the underwater world was easy. One of my favorite, and it was a very simple sort of device that we sort of discovered that we use on Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
Was that we realized that we didn't actually have to hang him on any wire. No. We literally just create a what do you call it, like a seesaw, like
a teeter-totter.
Teeter-totter, right? Yes. He would actually just stand on, and then we've a couple of thumb guys to the side. We just sort of jack him up, but we'll do it in such a way that it looks fluid. So it looks like he's just sort of floating in space. Yeah, it actually worked out really well. And
it was Dolph Lundgren on a teeter-totter, which is, I mean, how do you beat that?
So believe me, I've learned a lot, and I know what to do in the next one. How did it help you, Patrick? Would you say? Would you say the virtual sort of filmmaking process allow you, ways to do things?
Well, I mean, seeing the previs was super important because you want to know, as you're sitting on top of a weird blue oil drum, what am I writing?
So what is your favorite Aquaman moment in the movie? Movie మొత్తానికి మీకు ఏ సీన్ అంటే ఇష్టం or ఏ పార్ట్ అంటే ఇష్టం? Comment down below.
It was different than what I expected. I loved the weirdness of it. I love being in this weird space where there's really nothing. It felt like a black box theater where there is nothing. And you just have to make up everything. That's why we get into this business in the first place.
Right.
And so I'm totally, it makes you concentrate on those relationships. Me and Willem are like, okay, what do you want from this scene? What do I want from this scene?
That's so cool.
Do you find yourself more attracted to work that's like, whoa, this is going to be big and flashy? Or it's like, you know what? I want to be even in this genre, as real, as convincing as possible.
One of the things I love the most about making this movie is sharing this character that's never been done before, and this world that's never been done before, and seeing the big screen depiction of this character and treat them to a visual world that they're not familiar with. It's just so cool to just sort of watch the movie in sort of wide-eyed awe, and we're very thankful for how well the film was received by all the fans out there. And I'm excited to continue the journeys of our heroes and anti-heroes for that matter. And
Aquaman 2 announcement coming soon.
And to continue to expand on the world, with number 2, and also by trying to find new things to do that I didn't get around to doing in the first film. That's what I'm always trying to do. Find something fresh. And I think, the second one is a little bit more, I would say a little bit more serious, a little bit more relevant in the world that we're living in today. And I think that's kind of where it wants to go. What are you looking forward to, Patrick, about number 2? What would you be excited to see or would like to see?
I'm excited for some new worlds. Hopefully, I'm just throwing that out there because I know you love world building, and I'd like to see some of that. I'd like to see where else we can go because I know you're going to push that ocean. There's a lot of unexplored ocean out there. Anyway. We only know 5% of the ocean. It's people. So
That is true.
Clearly,
and I can definitely guarantee you new worlds in this next one. And I think you're going to be very excited with what. You as an actor, what you're gonna play with Orm.
Am I handcuffed the entire time?
Okay.
It's made of seaweed, right? I can just eat my way through it.
Okay, so future lo I like Ben Affleck. He's one of my favorite characters.
So drink more water. Or whatever it is you have in the cooler. We have so much more excitement to come. Get ready for a fan Q&A unlike you have ever seen before.
Okay.
That's
Harley
right.
Quinn.
It's animated Harley Quinn. Here is our delightfully deranged anti-hero wing calling it like she sees it.
So actually ee Harley Quinn is so good.
Harley Quinn here, ready to answer some questions from social media. Ready?
So let me check
What would
on
you say is the hardest part of starting your own criminal empire? Probably deciding where to go for lunch. Everybody just sits around just like tossing out ideas. Someone says Chipotle and everybody's like, ugh, we had Chipotle like 3 days ago. And then someone says a place that gets everyone excited. And then we call and find out they don't deliver. And then someone says Chipotle again. It's just such a pain in the ass. Next question. Will the series have a 3rd season? Please say yes to me. I need it. I love Harley and the show. I mean, I hope so. It's probably up to some dickhead executive that has a personal trainer who says the word core a lot. In which case, hi, Mr. Executive. Did you know the show is super cheap to make and I play well internationally because I'm hyper violent? Okay, next question. Which TV show would Harley probably love? Well, Robert Espinoza. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do love the
Yes, actually, it's so transparent.
The beloved classic TV series offered in the massive Warner Brothers film library. It's crazy not to subscribe.
So it's definitely Bruce Wayne. Yeah, ఈ షో చాలా బాగుంటది. Please check it out. R-rated and it's so good. No, she's not blind. Her color is just like that.
Is from Brant with a D. You spell your name Brant with a D. It's really lame. Okay.
So I'm gonna take a break for 2 minutes, but I'll be on chat.
I guess Red Robin takes balls to name yourself after a national chain of burger restaurants. I mean, I like burgers, so let's just go with him. Look, it's not science. Next question. From Sharjeel Mogul. Marry, kill. Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. Oh, Wonder Woman, kill the 2 dudes after I torture the shit out of them and make them fight each other until they're referencing their mothers. Marry Ivy. What? This is my fucking Q&A, okay? I don't have to play by the rules. Last? No, not last. Another question from Keegan Sandlin. Would you ever consider opening up a tattoo parlor? The tattoo parlor idea is interesting if I ever wanted to go legit. Or a tattoo removal clinic. My ex had some pretty regrettable tats he paid a lot of money to have lased off. You know what I'm talking about. All right, we got another question from Gaz. No, I'm f***ing serious. That's this person's name. Question. What music would Harley have on a playlist to listen to while fighting a load of goons in a circus funhouse? Usually when I'm in these melee situations, the voices in my head are singing an a cappella version of the theme song to Seinfeld. I stopped putting in my earbuds during these situations because Ivy would always turn Spotify on at home, and while I'm exploding some goon's head, the Indigo Girls, Galileo comes on. It's just really f***s the mood straight to hell. Okay, next question from Mr. Jim Lee.
Hey Harley, what's it like working with the Batman? I'm a really big Batman fan myself, and I don't think people talk about him enough.
Batman is a pain in my ass, okay? He is a total diva, especially for being like, hello, 18th on the call sheet. Plus his day rate is astronomical. And if you ever say anything about it, he's all, I keep the lights on at Warner Brothers, which is a bullshit because we all know that's still Friends and Big Bang Theory. Did that answer your question? All right, last but not least, we got a question from Ruchi Bhatia. Advice to all the girls on how to be more confident and badass like Harley. First thing you do is take all the and throw them out the window. You don't want those weighing down your confidence. Who gives a what others think of you? Okay, nerds, I've had a ball, but guess what? I gotta go. Bye!
Whoa, Harley, language. I guess we should expect her to keep the censors on their toes, right? Now, let's welcome these three ladies I'm confident who will keep it clean and classy. With the upcoming release of Wonder Woman 1984, they and we have reason to celebrate. I'll let these wonderful women do the honors. Patty, Gal, Linda, it's all you.
Hi, everybody. Well, there's one more exciting detail that we're so thrilled to be here to talk about, which is it turns out next year is Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary. 80th anniversary, if you can believe that. She's been changing the world for 80 years. So there's two people who you cannot have this celebration without. Our current Wonder Woman, the one and only Gal Gadot, the best, and the legend, the inspiration, and the reason that we're all here, the person who brought Wonder Woman alive in our hearts and minds and set the world on fire, Linda Carter. Yay! And to be with you guys. What a special moment. 80 years. Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable. Amazing. And it's crazy to think that only, that only three years ago, the first feature Wonder Woman was released. It's insane.
Crazy. It's crazy that it would take so long.
I know why. Find the right one.
I was going to say it's because
I had a very big shoes to fill.
Linda's very hard to replace and to be the new Wonder Woman, but there couldn't be two. It's funny how there couldn't be two more real Wonder Women in the world to play that role, and it's unbelievably unusual for both of you to be so magical playing this role. So I'm so happy to be here with you because this character has meant so much to me since the first day I ever heard about her. And you guys have brought it to life for so many. And I'm so excited, next year, there's going to be a whole slew of things that DC Comics is doing.
Me and my cup
Warner
of
Brothers is
coffee.
doing to celebrate Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary.
Yeah, Wonder Woman inspires us, and our collective love for this character has endured for 80 years.
Gal and Patty, we are so excited. She has endured.
She
has endured for 80 years, and there's a reason. You have given her a new life, you and Patty. And when we put her during my era on television, she resounded, and there's a reason she resounds. And we are about to give you a first
బ్రో
look
యాక్చువల్గా ఆ టైం ఎలాగో 5 అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి ఐ కంటిన్యూ అంటిల్ 6:30 అంటిల్ ది ఎండ్. సో 6:30కి స్ట్రీమ్ కూడా ఎండ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఈవెంట్ అంటే స్ట్రీమ్ ఎండ్. సో యూ విల్ కంటిన్యూ.
Let's see it.
6:30 వరకు ఉంటుంది బ్రో స్ట్రీమ్. ద బ్యాట్మ్యాన్ ప్యానల్ మాత్రం 6కి. సో
Happy birthday, Wonder Woman. You don't look a day over 29. Also, there's a few more 80th birthdays to celebrate this year, including Joker, Flash, and Catwoman, to name a few. Happy birthday. Here's to another 80. Now, over to you, Gino.
Hello, my fellow DC fans. My name is Gino Killiamore. I'm from the Philippines. Now, I'm not just one of your global hosts for today. I'm actually also a mega DC fan 365 days a year. So I just really wanted to take this time to say thank you to Warner Brothers and, of course, to DC for creating DC Fandome. It gave us something to look forward to this entire year, and now we're finally here. Now, one of the creative geniuses behind this incredibly cool experience that brings us together today is he's kind of on my high of all-time cool people, but he's also on the list of really cool people in entertainment because he makes
Yeah,
it
so
his mission.
Shazam panel start అయ్యే లోపల let's continue the Gotham Knights.
Important element of Gotham Knights is that as the player increases in power and ability, their foes keep pace.
September 12th.
So
Okay,
confronting
September
villains
12th
is
ఏముంది?
a
I
very different
don't
proposition at level
know.
5 or at level 15.
What's on
And not
September
just in terms of
12th?
stats, but in the kinds of attacks and defenses they bring to bear. And that was just a short peek at Gotham Knights. We're going to have more to show you in the future.
Okay. So, ఎక్కడుంది? Consoles. Where are the consoles? No, there are no PC, PS, Xbox. No, there are no consoles, man. Let me see here. No. Consoles అయితే లేవు. So, no consoles on Gotham Knights.
Superheroes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you still have the Guinness World Record for most best-selling.
మీకు కనుక తెలిస్తే చెప్పండి, because I don't know about what console it's going to be released on.
It's still standing today. Thank you. Yeah. I'm curious, given you've seen so much because you've built so much, what's different about superheroes today from when you first started?
So much is different.
Really? Yeah, if it's
so I've seen quite an evolution.
Possible, let's dream. What's there? ఎలా ఖాళీగానే ఉన్నాం కదా అందరం.
Community, the people that tell the stories. Our fan base is much more balanced out than it used to be back when
Let's hope it's not going to be so late at night like this.
The pantheon of characters is predominantly white.
ఇదే కనుక ఇంకా ఇంకో రోజు చేస్తే మా అమ్మ నన్ను వేసుకుంటది గట్టిగా. ఇంటి నుంచి బయటికి పొమ్మంటారు.
Through the power of media, film, TV, games, our content, our characters are global. We have fans all over the world.
So I hope people will join by the time of the Batman, 6 o'clock. It's the ending.
We publish in Brazil, but not like a ton of content. And that just shows, it speaks to their passion, their love for our characters. They know our mythology inside and out. So you just start realizing that it's not just about North America or our core publishing business. It's everyone around the world. That's the potential market and the reach. And so it's really exciting to have seen the evolution of this business move from something that was really kind of small and insular to something that really has kind of taken over pop culture, really. Everyone on the streets wearing the t-shirts. Back then, if you wore the t-shirt, you might get beat up. Exactly. But now today, it's like, it's a badge of your fandom, right? It's like what you love, and it's no big deal. In fact, it's kind of cool, which is amazing. I feel like we live in an alternate reality sometimes.
I mean, it's so easy to say in hindsight because you've done it, but you mentioned diversity in race and gender and geography and so forth, and the DC multiverse is certainly known widely for so many of these firsts. I mean, you have this insanely interwoven multiverse on the CW. You're the first studio to win Best Actor at the Oscars for a superhero and Joker, or really a villain, I should say, a super villain. I mean,
okay, if it's possible, let's do it. Let's see
which of these risks to take, given you were the first,
based on it.
So many, and what can we expect to see next from the DC multiverse?
I don't think we view it as a risk. I don't think there's a fear. I mean, I think there was probably an old school thinking, like, for example, like a female lead can't carry a movie, right?
Is it watchers?
A lot of these sort of old school ideas of what worked or what the audience wanted or didn't want. And in many ways, it's been transformed by the fact that it's become more global, that the audience has changed. And I think also data, right? Data is really interesting now because we actually have now direct consumer insights to what they want and what they're looking for. And what they're looking for is representation. They're looking for content that reflects the world they live in. They want to see themselves represented on the screen in the pages of the comic books. And
It's
that is
okay,
something that I'll just speak to
but
my own fandom.
again,
I've been around for a long time. That's not even
it's
an
Assassin's
expectation I
Creed
had as a
becoming
kid,
so
right? You just
formulaic, so
wanted to see something
they
that
have to change
entertained
the
you. And
formula
now
again,
there's a
like
lot
how
more
they did
fan
in
engagement.
Origins.
There's a more
Origins
direct
లాగా ఎలాగ
connection
మళ్ళీ
between the content makers
మార్చారో
and the
అలాగ
audience
మళ్ళీ
themselves.
చెయ్యాలి
And you see that manifesting in
మొత్తం
so
అంతా
many
కూడా.
different ways, sometimes negatively, but
I hope
predominantly, I think it's
they
really
does the
healthy
next
and
game better.
interesting. It's transforming the business. So
Valhalla
it's not about taking risks.
sequel.
It's about feeding the appetite, the desires of so many people want to see characters. Now you're seeing people want, can you make a deaf character? Can you make a character from my home country? How do you tell these stories authentically? And that means working with new voices, new talent from around the world. So to me, it's not about risk, it's about opportunity. And so it's really a golden era for content makers and definitely the world that we live in. We need to create more diverse characters. We need to create more inclusivity in our line. And I've seen that gradually change, but it's really accelerated in the past probably 5 to 10 years. And the demand is even more than ever before. And so I think it's a real responsibility on our shoulders to address this concern, to address this appetite. And it's an exciting time to be a comic book creator.
Something I really admire
Okay.
about DC is how you remember that diversity is not just one-dimensional. It's not just a matter of race or gender or geography, but all the above. I mean, you also had the first transgender superhero on Supergirl with Nicole Maines, of course, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really everyone being present. So much of this diversity, of course, begins on the page. Comics are not just some frivolous, fantastic world that we don't identify with. They're a new mythology. And I've often thought about this of how, we look to Grecian mythology and so forth, but it's been a while outside of comic books since we've had a real mythos that we could believe in and show us what we can do better. How do you think about taking a comic book and making it canon? Like, how does it become a real mythos for people? Because you've done this through characters.
Yeah. No, it's a really interesting process. When you get into comics, you're a fan, and you don't think necessarily about the underpinnings, the concepts, and the themes that are kind of that are connecting you to the material, right? You're just reading the story and you think it's entertainment, but a lot of times these stories
DC
are driven
villains,
by characters that are underdogs, characters
so
that have horrible.
యాక్చువల్గా
tragic things
DC
happen
విలన్స్
to them, like
అందరికంటే
Batman. They have to
నాకు
overcome all odds and strive to be the best,
చాలా
to overcome their own
లోకి
personal
అయిన
demons. And to me,
స్కేర్
that's
క్రో
something
అంటే
that
చాలా ఇష్టం
connects
బికాస్
all of us, right? It's a universal thing.
హిస్
We need to
ఫిజికల్ పవర్ ఈస్
overcome
వెరీ లో,
adversity. How do we face
బట్
adversity?
మెంటల్గా
How do we turn
చూసుకుంటే హీల్
adversity
బ్రేక్
into
డౌన్
something that's
ఎవ్రీ
positive in our
క్యారెక్టర్.
lives? So there's two,
ఈవెన్
in my
బ్యాట్మ్యాన్
mind,
కూడా
it's more than
భయం
just
వచ్చేలాగా
entertainment. And that's
చేస్తాడు.
what
సో
keeps this stuff compelling.
స్కేర్ క్రో
It
క్యారెక్టర్
keeps
ఈస్
it around
సమ్వాట్
for 80
ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్.
years. We've been publishing
అండ్
stories for 85 years.
గేమ్స్ వాటన్నిటిలో
Batman's
కూడా
been
హీ
around for
గాట్
81
జస్టిస్,
years.
రైట్? సో
And we're
యా,
excited to
స్కేర్ క్రో నా
introduce the
ఫేవరెట్
next
క్యారెక్టర్ అని చెప్పొచ్చు.
version of Batman that speaks to a whole new audience that will last another 80 years. So this is our mission, and this is something that we don't take lightly, and at the same time, it's a lot of fun to do at the same time, right? So it's a really, really cool way to kind of be creative, share stories about, coming of age, of dealing with personal responsibility, introducing young people to these themes, and then seeing these ideas kind of become cool video games or TV shows or movies. I mean, it's icing on the cake.
Yeah, I mean, the DC multiverse, as you just alluded to, you've got publishing, you've got games, you've got collectibles, you've got TV, you've got film, and everyone and their mother across Hollywood wants that next great franchise like the multiverse that you've built. What can you tease about how you think about the evolution of the DC multiverse? We know it's inclusive, but what are the other things you can tease of its evolution?
I think we're in early days of it. I mean, the multiverse is something that DC popularized. If you think about fiction in general, DC did it first back in 1961. Kind of introduced this idea that they're alternate versions of everyone and all the superheroes on alternate Earths, and they're all slightly different. And that basically opens up the pantheon, the storytelling, to all sorts of incredible ideas. And now you can explore different themes in different ways. It's really about taking the road not taken and being able to kind of have your cake and eat it too, and just have Earth 3 to where all the the Justice League are villains and the only hero is Luthor, and kind of exploring that dynamic. And it's a great foil to the core characters and knowing who they are. So it gives our
వినాష్ కుమార్ రాక్ క్యారెక్టర్ అయితే మాత్రం చాలా బాగుంది. ఇట్స్
diversity and
pick
inclusivity
and all. It's so
through
good.
the multiverse, right?
So
Earth 23 is there's a black
I want to
Superman,
see what's
out in
going to happen with
what
Rock
kind of
and
world does that look like, and how is
Black
that
Adam
different
character,
from
introduction
our
with
Earth Superman,
interaction
Clark
with
Kent?
Superman
And so these are great stories to be able to tell, and it's just really
and
about
Shazam,
broadening the
etc.
experience and giving our creators the amazing tools to tell whatever story they want to.
What's the most exciting or the most exciting set of developments for you in comic books right now?
Right now in publishing, we launched a young adult, young reader program just last April. I mean, we've worked on it for years prior, but this is a huge opportunity for us. It's one of the fastest growing segments in the book audience. And it's a predominantly different audience than who buy, our core comic book line. It's more female, it's definitely younger, and they want to see the heroes reflected in different ways that speak to them, the issues that they're facing, coming of age type stories. We kind of lost sight of the 8 to 10-year-old readers, and now we're actually addressing that and creating content for them again, and that's very exciting for us because you need that young generation to keep feeding sort of this broad spectrum of readers that you have. And so that's been a really exciting initiative for us. Beyond the Young Reader program, we also shared in a previous panel during Fandome that we have acclaimed legendary writer John Ridley coming on board. John Ridley won an Oscar. He is a huge comic book fan, and he's actually going to come on board in 2021 in January and do a 4-part miniseries introducing a new Black Batman. And the question is, who is this Batman? And there's a cool backstory to it, has deep implications and impact on the future of the mythology.
So we are getting a new Batman. Batman comics January lo vastnayi 4-part miniseries.
It is a really, really cool story, and we're excited to kind of show that anyone can kind of be Batman, and that's kind of part of the story. Is like we know who these heroes are, and we know what their core values, what they stand for. And if you think about it that way, we can all identify with it. And I think as we drive forward with this mythology, I think we have to look beyond just what has been established and look to other ways of really kind of updating and contemporizing the mythology. And that really is kind of our core mission, is like looking at these assets, and they've been around for a long time. They've been around for 85 years. Well, publishing for 85 years, Batman 81 years. How do we keep this interesting and fresh?
So what do you guys think? We are going to get a Batman trailer?
I love being involved in, and having someone like John who has.
Do you guys think we'll get a Batman trailer at the end of the DC Fandome?
DC universe is something that is going to be huge for us next year.
Yeah, I mean, serious kudos to y'all, though, because as you know, it's a reflection of our times of how do you hold on to some forms of legacy, but how do you be brave and smart? And
so comment on your opinions. Are we getting a Batman trailer or a teaser or just pics pettu villestara enti?
Who across the pantheon of your multiverse are your favorite superhero and why?
Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, I liked the real oddball characters just because they're so unusual.
Small teaser ఏమైనా చేస్తే బాగుంటది అనుకుంటున్నాను నేనైతే.
It just appeals to, like, if you ever interact with young kids, the things they find funny or interesting are very different than like a teenager or adult, right? And so there's a character called Matter Eater Lad, which I always kind of, he's a
Matter Eater Lad.
He wasn't even a full superhero. He's a substitute member of the Legion of Superheroes. Occasionally he'd kind of cross over, but his power, as you could tell from, he could eat anything. Matter Eater Lad, that was his power. He came from a planet called Bismol, and his way out of any problem was to eat it, right? If he's in jail, he starts eating the bars. There's a nuclear bomb that's going to go off. He starts eating the components of the bomb. And then, just a kid, I was just like, it's ludicrous but funny, and I think it just shows you that anything can be a power if you tell really cool stories. And so that's one of my more favorite characters from my childhood, and I always like kind of sharing his story because he's not very well known, and someday maybe he'll be on the big screen. And let me tell you, that is really a skill set in and of itself. You look at James Gunn, and he's doing Suicide Squad. He went deep into the DC catalog of characters, and he pulled out some tertiary, and I don't even know what's beyond, like, below tertiary. He took some
quaternary,
deep cuts into the DC catalog and pulled out these obscure
యా వెల్
characters
యాక్చువల్గా
with
సూసైడ్
pretty
స్క్వాడ్
random how,
క్యాస్ట్
but he made
మాత్రం
them
చాలా
really
డైవర్స్గా
compelling,
ఉంది
like,
అండ్
giving them cool backstories, cool character
అందులో ఉండే
arcs,
క్యారెక్టర్స్
and I
కూడా
think people are gonna go like,
సమ్
wow,
ఆఫ్
that's
దెమ్ ఆర్ నోన్
amazing. Who is this
బట్
character?
మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్
And
దెమ్ ఆర్
that's the
అన్నోన్
beauty
టు
of it.
పీపుల్ లైక్
It's
కామన్
all
పీపుల్
execution.
ఆర్
So if you think about it, everyone has their
అంత
favorite
పెద్దగా
character, and they
ఉండే
can all be elevated to,
క్యారెక్టర్స్ కాకుండా
movie
లోకీ
star,
క్యారెక్టర్స్ని తీసుకుని ఒక బిగ్ బడ్జెట్ మూవీ చేయడం ద్వారా స్మాల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ కూడా
especially with their platform.
జస్టిస్
I was
చేసినట్టు
also gonna
ఉంటుందని
say, thank you for sharing
అనుకుంటున్నాను.
your superhero with us. I wish the wonderful people of LA could be on that
Koraski,
diet and make everything
bye.
eat and make it all.
Have a good sleep.
And that's the thing. He never like he doesn't gain weight. He's not skinny.
Oh,
he's
man.
able to consume anything. I don't know where it goes. And that's an interesting story. How does what is in his digestive system that allows
Fiber.
him to yeah, exactly, a lot of fiber. I don't know.
Those are some dirty words for this city. Well, Jim, thank you so much for spending time with us, and congratulations on today and all the insane announcements.
Okay, so now
Again,
on
as
to
a
Shazam
nephew,
panel.
As a fan, it's just such a treat. So thanks so much again for spending the time.
All right, thank you, Big. That was a tremendous pleasure. Thank you.
This was an amazing, very cool, unique experience. I actually worked off of a lot of the creativity of other people within DC and Warner Brothers who basically came up with the overall map for DC Fandome, right? The center Hall of Heroes Island and then the 5 different islands that kind of float around it. I saw that there were 3 statues of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and then this giant kind of auditorium behind it. So first I sat down and I drew the Trinity.
Creation of fandom. This is
for the overall.
Yeah, until now, the content is low actually గా నేను ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసినంత హై పేస్ గా లేదు, చాలా స్లో పేస్ గా వెళ్తోంది. ఓ గాడ్, జస్ట్ అ మూమెంట్.
3D model asset, and then we could kind of rotate the camera around and enter through the windows and do all sorts of crazy things. We started with the concept designs done in pencil to inks and then to color. Al Sinclair, who's my trusted colorist, gave it a really cool.
So na green screen ఊడిపోయింది.
When we started seeing the
so
initial
yeah,
3D assets come over, I was completely
చాలా
blown away. The
low
actual
content
floor of
ఉంది,
the
but
hall is like one giant
the character
canvas.
interactions
It was really
and
flattering and really cool to see the art blown
the
up
way of
in this
presentation
gigantic
was so
scale
good.
behind the host.
Like ఒక కంప్లీట్ హార్డ్ కోర్ ఫ్యాన్స్ కి ఒక ఫుల్ మీల్స్ అంటే చాలా టైం తర్వాత ఇట్స్ డైరెక్ట్ డీసీ ఇంటరాక్షన్ వితౌట్ ఎనీ థర్డ్ థింగ్. సో డీసీ డైరెక్ట్గా ఫ్యాన్స్తో ఇంటరాక్షన్ అన్నది ఇట్స్ ఎ వెరీ గుడ్ థింగ్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఎవ్రీ కంపెనీ షుడ్ డూ. ఎవ్రీ ప్రొడక్షన్ హౌస్ కూడా ఇలాంటి ఒక ఈవెంట్ పెడితే బాగుంటుందని నా ఒపీనియన్.
And we could place them in this virtual space. We could customize every facet.
So that's
of
my
the
opinion. So
and
let's see.
Put the art anywhere and everywhere.
What do you guys think? Did it reach your expectations?
Creating an immersive world on a 2D piece of paper. This time was kind of brought to life in really a unique, one-of-a-kind virtual space where anything and everything is possible.
It's time to go back to you guys, the fans, for more questions. Now, this fan might look familiar to some of you guys.
Hey, it's Jake from State Farm here. The Amazons really inspire me, so I just decided to train myself to be a warrior. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, well, you definitely need strength and drive and discipline and coordination, kindness and courage. That's a starting list.
Oh, check. Yeah. And if I want to try to compete in the Amazon games, just checking, it's still all Amazons on the Mascara, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen for you. But keep up with the training. You never know.
Okay.
సో దే డిడ్ ఇట్ వెల్. అంటే మరీ బిలో ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ అయితే లేదు కానీ బట్ ఇట్స్ ఫైన్ ఫర్ ఏ ఫ్యాన్ స్టఫ్. ఇట్ వాజ్ సో గుడ్. ఇట్ వాజ్ సో ఇంటరాక్టివ్గా ఉంది. ఆఫ్టర్ ఎ లాంగ్ టైమ్ వీఆర్ సీయింగ్ అవర్ యాక్టర్స్ అండ్ డైరెక్టర్స్ ఇంటరాక్షన్ విత్ ఈచ్ అదర్. Okay, so now Shazam panel.
I'm so excited to share with you guys 24 hours of unprecedented geekdom with everybody here today, and to introduce, of course, the DC Fandome Shazam panel. Now, the 2019 movie was not only groundbreaking as a superhero movie with something for everyone of every age, but it was everything you and I wanted from Shazam and the Shazam League. Now, the star of this movie may be just as big a kid as he is on the inside as the character that he plays, and he's the first to admit it. So if you want to know more about the next movie, all you have to do is say this word.
Shazam.
What's up, fam? Welcome to the Shazam 2 panel. I'm Zachary Levi, here to talk about our bonkers awesome sequel.
So
and,
Shazam 2
answer
panel.
as many of your questions as I can. Listen, you've been getting a lot of hot exclusive content from a bunch of other DC joints, poster reveals and sneak peeks and motion comics and cast announcements, and I'm a little bit kind of limited in what I can talk about. But I can share my excitement and how thrilled I am about Shazam 2,
Okay.
which may or may not be the title. Because again, just a little limited in what I can talk about. Let's just get to your questions. I think that's probably let's do that. That's a good idea. Just gonna get to my iPad over here and let's just dive in here. From Nora in Canada. What's up, eh? Will there be a DC cameo in this movie? Nora, that is an awesome question that I unfortunately I don't really have an answer for, because again, ever so slightly hamstrung in what I can reveal to you, the fans. Let's look at some other questions.
Any new powers?
I can't talk about them. Like I said.
Okay.
I don't really have an answer for. I can't actually look. Ultimately, as you've probably picked up on, I can't say about. I'm sorry. Squat. Can I say?
Please do not.
Squat. Listen, you're smart people, right? I mean, we all know that these panels are just ridiculous clown shows where they trot out a bunch of actors to sell something out of nothing. So the real question is, how am I, Zachary Levi, supposed to fill 6 minutes alone without Squat? Well, the answer is, boom! Hey!
Hi.
Okay.
Hey, Faith. Hi, guys. Listen, wait, okay, so guys, what is all this?
That is an awesome question. It's a Shazam 2 panel that we're now going to all do together right now.
Okay.
Wait, does that mean I can talk about the secret cameo?
No, you cannot talk about that stuff, Asher Angel.
Okay.
Well, what about all of the new villains?
Villains, singular, plural. Yeah, who would possibly know, Megan? Because it's all a mystery. It's all a mystery.
Okay.
Listen, very nice giving people.
So fun way lo
really
eltondi.
let us say much about our movie, but here we are, nonetheless, trying to provide the fans here with some exclusive content.
I can draw a poster for our new movie.
Yeah, that's super cute, Faith. Why don't you knock yourself out?
I'm pretty talented.
You're super talented. Absolutely. I think you're going to do a bang-up job, whatever you do.
Oh, Zach, what is that you're drinking? Is that a Flow Subs protein shake?
As a matter of fact, Jack, it is. Checks in the mail. Thanks for asking. This is the salted vanilla caramel protein.
Oh.
Listen. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gets his tequila. Jason Momoa gets, his water in a can. Look, I'm not trying to get you drunk, and I'm not trying to sell you something you can get out of a pond, okay? I'm trying to improve lives.
Okay, guys. I feel like we've gotten a little bit off topic. So,
I have an idea. Since we can't say anything about, the actual movie, why don't you, the fans out there, tell us what you would want to see in Shazam 2?
A new member should join the Shazam family. Should probably be a unicorn.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, totally. And we should give them rocket packs so they can fly with our characters.
Okay, yeah, that's all usable.
Well, Zach, is there time for us to maybe get CGI'd into the Justice League Snyder cut? Possibly? Maybe? No? Yeah.
Ooh, Asher, me likey. Thinking way outside the box. I don't know if this is the right time to drop this on y'all, but I've been working on a little kind of Zach cut of my own.
Zach cut.
From our first Shazam movie.
Okay.
I just boosted the energy a bit, brightened up the color palette.
Director
Sorry,
said.
You recut my movie?
Dude, Sandberg, our illustrious director. Hi, how are you?
Hey, finish the poster.
Oh, that's adorable. I can't wait to see it.
Wait. Faith, is that Sinbad the comedian?
Hang on a second. Somebody's trying to call in here. Maybe that's Adam.
Okay.
Sinbad.
What it look like, y'all?
It looks like you. Hold on a second. Sinbad, are you in Shazam too?
Well, you tell me, John Krasinski, am I?
So, cash announcement ni smooth గా deal
I'm
చేస్తున్నారు.
number 3 on the Mandela list, all right?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so confused.
Man, you confused. You try to live in a world where everybody, I mean my family, everybody thinks you started a film called Shazam when it didn't exist.
Wait. Do you mean Kazam?
No. People think I started in that one too. Shazam, Kazam, all the Kazams. I'm relegated to the false memories of a tired generation, man. I'm here right now to rectify that situation. Once and for all, with a big prominent role in Shazam 2. Thank you very much.
I'm not so sure that you can just demand that.
I got range, man. I can play like anything. I can play like good guy, bad guy. I can play Shazam's trainer. And great news, David. I already started working out for the movie. Check this out, man. I'm gonna look so good. I'll even do nude scenes. Little booty, not a lot.
Faith, don't tell that.
Hey guys, sorry.
Adam Brody.
What the heck, dude? Where have you been? Things have been getting crazy in here.
I clicked the wrong link. The plot for Kazam 2 it's crazy, by the way.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm gonna be in that one too.
Isn't bad.
Okay, guys.
Unicorn.
Is that the title of our movie? Shazam Theory of the Gods?
For real? That's the title?
Yes.
No
ఏంటి
No squat.
Shazam Fury
Exclusive content.
Fury of the Gods.
Starring Sinbad, finally.
Okay. Is it for real?
Well, I guess I didn't have much to say. Except the freaking
Shazam?
title! I got the title! Yay!
Shazam Fury of the Gods.
It's
Okay.
an incredible costume. So let's take a look at some of the best of fan hero cosplay.
So that's going to we have to watch it out. So title, what do you say about the title? Shazam Fury of the Gods. What do you guys say? Think about the title. That's a manchi title. It's a pretty good title. Okay, that was fun. Yes, it's so చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా అనౌన్స్ చేశారు బట్ ఇట్స్ సో ఫన్ టు వాచ్ క్రింజిలా కాకుండా ఇట్ వాజ్ స్మూత్ ఆ మూవీ టోన్కి రిలేటెడ్గా అలా ఇంకా అలా వెళ్ళిపోయింది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఆన్ సూసైడ్ స్క్వాడ్ గేమ్.
Now, for a special treat, the cast
Okay, sorry, it's Wonder Woman skit.
One of their favorite games from set, Werewolf. Our game today, Werewolf 9084, has a DC twist. At night, scheming villains work to capture unsuspecting civilians.
So it's a funny skit of Wonder Woman cast.
Works to discover who the bad guys are. The catch is, our players don't know who has which role, and they have to figure it out before the villains win. Let's see what happens.
Welcome everyone to the first ever game of Werewolf Night.
Okay, మళ్ళీ ఏదో అయ్యింది దీనికి.
1984.
Trying to get the
Jump right into the game. It is a beautiful summer night in the 1980s. We are gathered in the most exquisite museum for an annual gala. Long ballroom gowns, very chic wear. Everyone is enjoying their night with a wonderful glass of champagne, maybe even some rosé.
Okay, it's a game.
And some tab colas for those driving.
Game అయినా skit లాగే ఉందిలే.
Dreamy music is playing. Everyone is having an amazing time. However, unbeknownst to the guests, there are some villains who plan to capture some of you. So everyone, please close your eyes and let the night begin.
Okay, secret villains in the group are deciding who to capture next. Okay.
Everyone, please wake up. So, the party.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. The party did get sour. The villains, unfortunately, have been able to capture Pedro. And the superhero was not able to save Pedro in time. So
I'm out already?
You're out already, and you're the first one. You were so excited
That's
about
so
the game.
Okay.
So typical. So afraid I was gonna win.
And you're done.
All right, bye.
Oh man.
You guys should
Okay.
deliberate between each other.
I didn't understand ఈ గేమ్ ఏంటో నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు.
It's Chris.
Okay.
No. Yes.
Chris.
You got me.
It's Chris.
Why do you think
Because
Chris, I love you're really good at defending yourself, Chris. You're going to be really good at
something
it.
in the middle because he had his eyes open and he was watching. And this is how it happens.
See?
This is how
How do you know that he had his eyes open, Patty? I thought
we
that
all have our eyes closed. You're clearly doing something, and he responds to what you're doing that none of us can see. So one would only respond.
Was that his voice? I did hear somebody's voice.
Someone was speaking, isn't it?
But how
That's
do we
you,
know
Chris?
it was Chris?
The strongest
Is that true?
I can't believe I'm out.
All good. So, Patty, you think it's Chris?
I'm positive.
Yeah.
I don't want Chris to leave the game, but that sounded just like Chris, and whoever it was accidentally talked in the middle of their interaction with
Pavan, it's 6 o'clock. ఇంకొక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ ఉంది.
Interesting that Patty, you're
Patty is so
Chris, you were the first person to talk, so maybe you have something to hide because
Thou does protest too much.
It was a man's voice, and how do you know it was Chris?
I've played this game many times, and I'm telling you, I'm surprised you all that if all of us have our eyes closed and somebody is muffling and then they go, "Oh, I see," they have their eyes open.
Chris, do you mind saying OIC real quick? I'd love to hear it again.
OIC.
I don't think it was that clear. It was one.
Can we start all over again, fresh?
Yeah.
Thou doth protest too much. That's Shakespeare.
Can I just say one quick thing? Connie, I do actually think is a villain because before we started, when she was asking about the rules, she goes, "So you just BS?" But you wouldn't say you just BS. You're a civilian. You'd say, so you just tell them you're actually a civilian.
I am extremely empathic, which is, Patty will confirm, I am so empathic that I continuously put myself in the other person's place, and that is what I was doing. I am not because of that.
Okay, so do we all want to unanimously vote on who?
I sadly say vote on Chris because it's the only person I'm sure about.
I think
you guys.
Okay, నాకు ఈ గేమే అర్థం కావట్లేదు.
Okay, 2 votes for Chris. Jesse, you're voting for yourself, Chris?
Oh.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Who wants Connie to be voted out? 1, 2, 3. And who wants Patty to be voted out?
Chris can't vote twice. I think
Look at Jesse.
Vote twice. That's literally. We are straight up anarchists. He is. Look at Jesse.
Okay.
Listen.
It's the same way I play poker.
And the only one who has gotten 5 votes is Chris. So unfortunately, Chris, you are voted out. Do you want to reveal who you are to the public?
I'm a sandwich-eating villain.
Oh, so let's jump into round 2. The night creeps up again. Everyone, please close your eyes.
Okay. నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు అయినా సరే నేను అర్థమైనట్టు ప్రిటెండ్ చేస్తాను. Okay.
All right, everyone, please wake up.
Let's pretend that I understood everything.
It is
okay.
It is upsetting to say, but the party did in fact get sour yet again. The villains are out there and they captured Gal. Gal has been captured by the villain.
Wow.
So who must have done these horrible deeds?
Ravi looks very concerned.
I was doing a breathing exercise during that time, just kind of multitasking.
I will say one thing, Ravi. I did hear that sort of static during the night. That is on
Felt
your
like that was my
line.
static.
Yeah, there's static on your line.
I
I
gotta
heard
tell you,
that
that's
when my eyes were closed.
I think we can all agree that's a bit of a reach, and that.
No, I heard that little laughter, and then I heard the
ఇది
static.
ఏంటో కొంచెం త్వరగా అయిపోతే సూసైడ్ స్క్వాడ్ గేమ్ చూసేసి ఆ తర్వాత బ్యాట్మెన్
Now
గేమ్
I know
చూసి నేను వెళ్ళి
he's
పడుకుంటా
definitely.
I'm a big Bears fan.
I vote Ravi.
So, what do you guys think about Suicide Squad game?
This is unbelievable. Now we know Chris and Connie. We have two people who just outed themselves.
So, what do you guys think about Suicide Squad game? Comment down below. What do you guys say?
I didn't notice that. Very astute, Connie. Very astute.
Actually, I fixed my static. If you look at the chat room.
Oh, it's
Okay? So why don't you check the records?
Please,
Okay?
Rob, just keep on talking because I just you're gonna make
Now,
me
this brings me to another theory that I was working on during my breath work, which, by the way, all the progress is gone. I was working on a theory that Patty knew that Chris was on her team, took him out so that she lost the full game.
But I also will say one thing, and I just want to keep that in mind. I also heard Kelvin laugh. Now, Kelvin could have laughed while my eyes were shut because he was a detective, or because
I'm not even going to dignify that.
I didn't.
I'm very busy today. I can't deal with this. You can speak to my lawyer. I'm very
defensive.
Are we guessing detective and superhero also? Or?
No, we only guess, but I'm just trying to say I heard the laughter. That's
But Connie, it was during detective. So I think
sure.
I think it was during detective because I heard a voice during detective. But if
I did too.
That's okay. That's okay. We don't want to get rid of that.
Static.
It could have just been Chris eating his 15-foot hoagie.
I actually really want to hear what Jessie thinks. She has been very quiet.
Very quiet.
Yeah, I think Rocksteady కాబట్టి let's hope something new. వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఏదో ఒక న్యూ కాన్సెప్ట్ అన్నది క్రియేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. అర్కమ్ నార్మల్ గా అర్కమ్ సిరీస్ అంతా కూడా ఇట్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ న్యూ. ఫస్ట్ అర్కమ్ అసైలం లో అయితే ఇట్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ న్యూ కాన్సెప్ట్, మొత్తం అంతా న్యూ. అండ్ సిటీలోకి వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఓపెన్ వరల్డ్ అది అండ్ స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్ అదంతా కూడా బాగా ఇంప్రూవ్ చేశారు. అండ్ అగైన్ కమింగ్ టు అర్కమ్ నైట్ కి వస్తే దే షోడ్ సినిమాటిక్ స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్ మోర్. అండ్ కాంట్రరీ టు అదర్స్ నాకు అర్కమ్ నైట్ బాగా నచ్చింది. I loved how they integrated all kind of gadgets into the game, like Arkham Mobile koncham you know that's so koncham over usage aina sare it was good, it was fine to play and to do everything.
So who can take out another villain for strategy because they don't look like a villain?
You could, but they're only three, so they wouldn't take out both.
Well, we only have two left, right? We only have two villains left now.
You only have two villains left.
If they voted out Gal, there would only be one, so they probably wouldn't vote one of their own out.
So
I say
who
Robbie.
do we want to vote? You say
Well, I
Robbie.
would love to
So
circle
who?
back on Connie actually, because she was just kind of doing a lot of drive-bys.
Robbie, it might be too late here, Robbie. It might be too late.
Whoa! Look at all the people. Look at all the boxes of people that don't want me to speak. These are our oppressors.
This is what we will do. This is what we will do. Who votes for Robbie to be taken out? Please raise your hand. That is.
You know what? Maybe I'm a little
That is a
like
lot of
civilian.
people.
Unanimous, bro.
All right, Robbie, I'm so sorry to say, but you are out. You are out, Robbie. Do you want to reveal who you are?
What were you?
What
I was
are
a
you?
civilian.
Were you?
Uh-oh.
I'm a concerned citizen, and this is the world we live in.
Let's jump into round 3. The night is back again. Please close your eyes.
ఏమో సార్ ఈ గేమ్ ఏంటో నాకేం
Everyone,
తెలియలేదు,
please wake up.
నాకేం అర్థం
Unfortunately, the
కాలేదు.
villains are on a roll. They have completely manipulated the situation, and it just seems like Patty, poor Patty, has been captured.
Killing us here.
And we are dwindling. Please,
Okay, we have to
let's
pick
figure
one.
out who
I have a
the
theory.
hosts are.
I have a theory.
Yes, Kristen, what is your theory?
I have a theory. Okay.
Yeah.
But we just voted Robbie out. When he revealed he was a civilian, we all felt bad and we were surprised. But Gal, you did not look surprised that he was a civilian. So I feel like you knew because you have your eyes open.
Gal's captured.
No, I voted him out. Never mind.
Okay, there is one superhero there. We are 6 left, okay? One superhero, one detective.
So it
two
was
villains.
feeling
That
so
means that
boring.
Two of us
ఏ
that are
టైంకి
left here are civilians.
గేమ్
But who knows
Hold on a
who
second.
knows
And the
who
other
got,
two
eliminated
that are not
or
superhero
captured.
and are not detective
Okay.
are villains. So
There's 2 villains, 2 villains, is what you're saying.
2 civilians, 2 villains, and 1 superhero and 1 detective right here.
It's at 5:40. ఇంకో 5 minutes.
And then
And Pedro was captured too.
Pedro was captured first.
I think I know who a detective is. Does that matter?
Yes, who do you think? Who do you think it is?
I think it's Kelvin because he's holding a marker and
సో
every
ఇంకొక
time
5
the
minutes
detective
లో
marks
we'll get a Suicide Squad game.
Okay, that's very good.
5 minutes. Ah.
Calvin, what do you have to say about
This is
that?
the silent marker I bought on Amazon for $99. So
That is an
nice try.
No, the sound of your copy is
Have a marker.
Oh, you have a mark. Okay,
I
well,
do, and it makes the same noise that we heard during.
Yeah, but he was holding it. He was holding it.
Okay.
So, Calvin, is there a reason why, if you are the detective, why would you not tell people?
Because I'll get killed, right? Or I'll get captured right after this.
That's very true. Good. Okay.
I still think it's Connie.
I am literally like the kind of person who can walk through any security because they
Exactly. The worst villain can walk through any security.
Yeah, that's exactly. Jonathan's got his mask on. Something's going on. We've got some
I'm
clenched.
just chilling, fam.
Oh, Jonathan, what are you?
I'm just chilling. I'm watching Connie.
Okay. It's so boring,
I
man.
think Connie can't be a villain because Chris voted for her the first time, and he was.
I agree. Yeah.
Kristen said us, villains, the last round, and pointing at herself.
Oh.
I tried to vote both times.
Did you hear that?
no, I was saying people and then people.
Okay.
Yeah, but you said villains when you said the second one, and you pointed at yourself.
Okay. ఇంకెంతసేపు అయ్యా ఇది
Okay.
Wait a minute. I read an article one that you did once, Kristen, where you said I'm a really good liar. So what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did. I read it somewhere.
Oh no. Now see, now I'm
out.
Robin, because Robin,
It's so boring.
that is a little bit, that's a little sneaky.
చాట్లో ఎవరైనా ఏమైనా
Never said
చెప్పండి అయ్యా
I'm a terrible liar.
సో
It wasn't
బోరింగ్
that.
No,
Was
I think it's Robin.
Magazine.
It's Robin. I think Robin.
you
knows
guys
more
say
about-
anything.
Oh, Robin, I see. Now you're saying.
What
it
are your
because
favorite
everything's
movies?
closing in. Everything's
Not
closing in.
Marvel or DC.
Something
General
about that
movies.
marker. Let's just go back to that marker.
English or foreign or Hindi, Telugu, ఏదో ఒకటి. Your favorite
Whether it was
movie.
blue or black.
Comment down below.
Compare marker noises.
Yes, please.
Do we check on that?
That's a great idea. Yeah, let's hear.
Hey, Jesse, go. Nope. Not it.
Okay. You guys, it was during the detective. You don't want to vote all the detective.
Yeah, you don't. That's one bad thing
You're
to
trying to
do.
find the villains, unless
But
you're a
don't the
villain.
villains?
Unless you're a villain.
All right. So, are we down to vote? Let's do some voting. So,
Vote for
from
Connie.
what I was understanding, Robin, people thought Robin was the villain. Does it? Who wants to
me,
vote for
but
that?
I'm not sure anymore.
Yes,
I'm
me.
voting Robin.
You're voting Robin?
For
Anyone
no
else?
reason.
Anyone else?
For no
Okay,
reason.
no one. Who's voting for Calvin? No one? Okay. Connie? Anyone voting for Connie? Okay. Okay.
Nice.
And just for the fun of it, anyone voting Jonathan? No? And Jesse?
Jonathan, I'll do it. Just and come on, somebody back me up here. There's got to be somebody who believes
I'm
that
just a sweet
Jonathan
young
could
man.
be like. Come on, Jesse. Just give it up. Just help me
Oh,
out.
Connie, I think it's time. I think you got voted out. You guys, Connie. Unfortunately, she was the civilian. I will confirm that. Okay. Wow. The numbers are going down.
అయ్యిందయ్యా
Two
ఇంకెంతసేపు
villains
సార్
on the board currently, and we have 3 civilians, including superhero and detective. All right. So let's jump into the next round. Round 4. Everyone, please close your eyes.
ఇదే లాస్ట్ అనుకుంటా ఇంకో 2 minutes భరించాలి బాబు.
Everyone, wake up. Seems that the villains are back at it again, and they were able to successfully capture someone. Kristen, unfortunately, was captured last night in a dreadful match.
Really
so who could we assume did that? There's 4 of you guys left. Yes.
Probably Kelvin.
I now think it's Jonathan.
Can everyone reveal their writing utensil? That is a teacup.
Oh, that's a stapler.
I think it's Jonathan.
So he was a detective.
No.
I don't know who they
No.
You think Jonathan, do you have anything to say to defend your case? Do you know any information?
really need
Are
to
you
defend
guessing
myself.
anyone?
I'm innocent.
You don't need to defend yourself?
No.
No? Okay.
These guys
Okay,
will put
fair
themselves into a circle, the villain.
Jonathan's in England. He's like, I just need to go get a pint.
బాడీ పెయిన్స్ వచ్చాయి సార్ కూర్చుని రాత్రి అంతా.
He's in Phoenix, Arizona. The accent is a whole thing that he does.
It's a facade, see?
Part of my disguise, isn't it?
Okay. Robin was trying to vote out Kristen as the villain, and we've now revealed that Kristen was not a villain. Wait, who else voted for Connie?
I voted for Connie.
Is it Kelvin? Did Kelvin vote for Connie?
Yeah.
All right.
I did think it was Connie.
Yeah.
But we've had a long
But we're
run.
pretty sure you're the detective now.
Gone back like a decade.
But
Connie.
so everyone is sure that Calvin is the detective. Is it true? Is it false? We don't know, but we are sure.
So it's between Kristen, Jesse, and Kelvin? And Jonathan?
No, it's between Jesse, Jonathan, and Kelvin. And you.
And Robin.
I keep going back to Jonathan. Sorry.
Jonathan?
God bless
Okay.
you again. I don't know why.
How could you do me
I don't know how you kind of...
How could you do me like that, man?
I don't know. It's
all right.
Quiet, insular thought thing.
On it.
Oh, who would we like to vote out? Let's do a vote for Jonathan. Who's voting for Jonathan? Okay, we got 2. Jesse, 3. Well, I don't even think we can vote for anyone else. Jonathan, unfortunately, you're out. You're out, man. You're out. Do you want to reveal what you are?
I was a civilian, man.
I actually think that was the last round because the villains did win this game. Villains, would you like to reveal yourself? Robin.
I knew it!
This is my weapon.
ఓకే అయ్యిందయ్యా ఆఖరికి.
With the Robin, Kelvin, and who else?
So Robin and Kelvin were the villain. Gal was the detective. Pedro was the superhero.
I'm so sorry. Robin and Kelvin, did I capture you? That was slick.
Yeah, you get to invest. So you chose. I think the first one was Pedro. You chose to. Yes, and I said that he wasn't a villain.
I didn't want him out of the game.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a villain, so I told you that no, he was not a villain. So, but he got captured, and he should have saved himself. Because if he saved himself, then he wouldn't have been captured.
Pedro, yes, you were like.
Instead, I saved Robin.
But he didn't.
What is up?
Okay.
I feel like I know we're not gonna do that, but I feel like now we need to start to play the
I know. Now I know I would
సరే
never
ఇది
trust
అయిపోతే
Robin,
కొంచెం
not a
సూసైడ్
demon.
స్క్వాడ్ అయిపోతే నెక్స్ట్ బ్యాట్ మ్యాన్.
I did know the moment she was attacking Kristen, I was sort of like, wait, what, the article?
That's when I knew, but no one listened to me.
It was a smooth civilian.
Kristen was on her.
I really enjoyed watching you work.
Robin reading an article. That was.
I read it. I read
Well,
it. Really?
Well, thank you everyone for coming and playing the Werewolf 1984. That was a lot of fun. Thank
Awesome,
you
you guys.
You were great,
Thank you so much.
Good job. DC fans, thanks so much for watching and enjoy the rest of DC Fandome.
Maya, thanks. Bye.
Now, our next global host is fluent in everything from games to geeks. She's tech girl Sam Wright from South Africa. Take it away, Sam.
Thanks,
Okay.
Gino. Hello world, Sam Reicher, and I am so excited about the amazing content we have in the DC fandom. There is so much to see and do. Now, gaming is my passion, and I am hyped because we have another announcement from
Okay,
Warner
so
Brothers
it's
Games. I think we
Suicide
should share
Squad
the killer news with
game.
you. And who's gonna do it? The one and only Will Arnett.
Ow! Son of a bitch, that hurt. Golly. DC, you have the cheapest teleporters. That hurt. All right, fan domers. I think I know why I'm here. Check this out.
Okay, so reveal trailer. WB Games and DC. Okay. From the creators of Batman Arkham series. Brainiac. Okay. Metropolis. Injustice 2 vibes.
I've got eyes on the target. Air support is getting cut to pieces. Where the hell are you? I'm going in.
సో ద గేమ్ స్టైల్ చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంది. ముందు బ్యాట్మ్యాన్ గేమ్స్ అన్నీ కూడా బాగా డార్క్గా ఉన్నాయి అండ్ ఇట్స్ సో బ్రైట్. ఓకే, హార్లెక్విన్.
Don't worry, boss. We got this. Hey, Boomer! Lay down suppressant fire!
కెప్టెన్ బూమరాంగ్.
These are still ringing after that last body.
ఓకే.
What is that?
డెడ్ షాట్.
Australian for hangover?
కింగ్ షార్క్.
I believe I can translate. Boomerang has a concussion from the enemy you missed in our last encounter.
Guess those teeth are sharper than your eyes, Shark Man. I never miss.
Never miss. Yeah, we bloody know. You never shut up about it.
Task Force X. Alpha target is inhuman. Get your asses to the Metropolis Grand Hotel and engage. Before I have another reason to blow those bombs in your heads.
Shit.
So I like the style of the game. చాలా డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంది ఫ్రమ్ ద ప్రీవియస్ అర్కమ్ గేమ్స్. సో బాగా కంప్లీట్ డిఫరెంట్గా ఉండబోతోంది ఫ్రమ్ ద ప్రీవియస్ అర్కమ్ గేమ్స్.
Oh yeah! Waller's stupid alpha target. Who we supposed to be killing again?
Superman.
Whoa. Look, it's Superman. The mighty Superman has just rescued that pilot.
What a show off. Beat it, Spandex! We're on a top secret assassination mission here!
No.
సో జస్టిస్ లీగ్ అంతా కూడా బ్రెయినియాక్ కంట్రోల్లో ఉంది.
So, figure out who we're killing yet? Oh, fuck!
Okay, it's good. Oh my god, that's so far away. 2022.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Very dangerous. Yeah, that's more dangerous than they said it would be. It's come on, get me out of here, please. Hello?
Oh, I got someone! I got someone!
Okay. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I? I'm Holly freaking Quinn, fart face. Who are you?
Wow.
Hey, Jax, come here.
Hey, who is it? A new lawyer? You gotta help us, mate.
No. I'm sorry. No, I'm not a lawyer. Although I probably played one once. But no. I'm Will Arnett.
Will Arnett? I'm your biggest fan. BoJack was the only thing that kept me going in Bel Rev. Every night. Starved. Tortured. Experiment.
Wait. An actor? Great. Hang up, Quinn.
No. Wait. Hang on. Don't hang up. Look, maybe I can help. What seems to be the problem?
It's Waller. She wants us to kill the bloody Justice League. We're way out of our depth here. We need to get out of this insane mission.
Speak for yourself. I can see the headlines now. Harley Quinn finally kills a bat.
Okay, well, there you go. That is the can-do attitude that I'd expect from a group called the Suicide Squad.
That moniker does not bode well for our chance of success.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Why don't you just give me the rundown? Who are you guys? What kind of powers you got? I mean, what are we working with here?
Captain. Sure thing, William. The name's Harley Quinn, and you could say I'm the leader of our little task force. I like baseball bats, explosives, dead superheroes, things that go kablooey, and a great British bake-off.
I'm Deadshot, team leader, world's deadliest assassin and most dangerous marksman alive.
And you may call me King Shark. I am a demigod, the rightful ruler of the seas, and therefore the true team leader.
And last but not least, the one, the only Captain Boomerang. I'm what you call a supervillain. But don't try calling me the leader of this sailor. No, thank you.
Pretty disappointed in the reveal, actually.
What? And forgive me, you throw boomerangs?
Exactly. Don't know why it took everyone else so long to get it. Oh, sweetie, we just didn't care.
Okay, well, I mean, does anyone have laser vision or like a kryptonite-powered suit or?
Well, you might have us confused with Lex Luthor.
Well, there's gotta be a way. I mean, the world is depending on you guys, right? When I look at you, I don't see a drunk or a killer or an evil clown lady or a giant monster.
Hey, who are you calling a giant monster?
No. You see, what I see heroes.
You must not have heard of us. We ain't your heroes.
Okay, fine. Criminals ready to pay back society and earn themselves a full pardon.
Full pardon? Or do we get to kill them all? Even Flash?
Yes, the mission is literally called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That is kind of the whole point.
Ooh, do I get to devour them and gain their powers?
I don't know, is that a thing? I mean, I can't see why not.
Alright, screw it. If we're gonna die on a mission, might as well do it paying back those self-righteous pricks.
Then it is decided. Let us do it for acclaimed actor Will Arnett.
Oh.
Will!
Yes, thank you. I do what I can with my looks and my steely soft voice and of course my looks. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Okay, ayinda.
Nothing? Okay. Well, thank you guys. I really Appreciate it. Have fun with your mission.
Take care.
See you later,
I'm a huge fan, like literally the biggest one.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Yeah. I have a feeling that things are about to get really messy. Would you please get me the hell out of here?
We're not doing this, right? Not a chance.
That still stings. I mean, it beats the subway, but... Whew. Oh. Hey, you must be Sefton.
I am indeed. Hi, Will.
Hey, man. Sefton Hill from Rocksteady Studios, y'all. Sefton, how'd you get here? Did DC also teleport you into the cyberspace realm?
No, they just sent me this green screen for my house.
Is it? You got a green screen? Good. That's neat. Lucky for you.
Okay.
DC actually teleported me into the fandom, which really
yeah,
hurts,
Uncharted
but,
game
good.
అన్ని
Green
యాడ్
screen.
నేను
You're lucky.
సో
Cool. Good for you.
మూవీ కరెక్ట్ గా చేస్తే
well, I
బాగుంటది
guess,
బ్రో
look,
బట్ ఐ
the
థింక్
cat is finally out of the bag here. This is
ఇట్స్ బెటర్ నాట్
Rocksteady's
టు డూ ఎ
new
మూవీ
game,
బట్
and
ఆల్రెడీ
there's a lot
చేస్తున్నారు
of
కాబట్టి వీ
anticipation
కెన్ డూ
behind it,
నథింగ్
right? And
జస్ట్
the
వెయిట్
Arkham
అండ్
games are
వాచ్ అంతే
extremely popular, and buzz has been building behind this new game. So, what can you tell us?
Well, I'm really excited and proud to be able to reveal Rocksteady's Suicide Squad. You know, it's a unique new franchise for gaming, and we've been able to put our own spin on it and create something really special that I think gamers are going to love and enjoy. Obviously, it's brought to you by the team that created Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And in fact, this is a continuation of the Arkham verse. So a lot of the through threads and the storylines you're going to see come to fruition in this game. So we've been able to combine all of that core DNA with some really great, unique innovations and create what we think is going to be a totally original gameplay experience.
Okay, well, that's awesome. But let me just ask you this. Why this game? Why Suicide Squad?
Well, when we're starting any game, Rocksteady games are all about a character-driven game. You know, it's all about that kind of heart and soul of the characters that we want to bring to life. So we worked with DC, we looked at, you know, all the different properties, all the different great characters that they have. And Suicide Squad really spoke to us because of how fascinating these flawed characters are and the fact that it's fusing all of these characters together. When you're creating a game, you're creating a universe and you want to build it with real heart and soul inside it. And that's what really inspired us to make the Suicide Squad game because, you know, DC had this fantastic roster of villains, and being able to actually play these villains and see the interaction and life between them is something that got us really energized and excited.
I guess for me, my biggest question, and really probably everybody's biggest question that they want to know is, and no offense, but what is wrong with you, man? Why are you making a game about a group of bad guys taking on some of the most beloved heroes of all time?
Well, I think for us, we always want to put our characters in interesting and exciting and dynamic situations, and it felt like the Suicide Squad naturally really lends itself to that. You know, even just starting with their boss, Amanda Waller, you know, she's part protagonist but also part antagonist. You know, she's stuck these nanite bombs in their heads and she's forcing them to do this impossible mission, this mission to take on and kill the Justice League. And I think that's where you always find, I think, the magic is when you can put characters in these situations that are absolutely impossible. And then to a certain extent, these things kind of write themselves because once you've got that premise, you just let that live and breathe and you think, right, well, how the hell can the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League? How can that even happen? And really, that's the genesis of the game. And then it's down to us to take the player on this journey and tell this story of how that could even be possible.
Hearing that, let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this stuff that the hardcore gamers like me want to know. Exactly what kind of game is this? What am I doing in this game?
So the game is a hybrid of Rocksteady's experience in bringing characters like Batman to life, that superhero empowerment, combined with really powerful, awesome gunplay. So the superhero empowerment, I guess supervillain empowerment here, is looking at each one of the individual squad members and looking at what's unique about them and transferring this into this really powerful gameplay and using that, again, those skills and techniques that we've learned over the year, but actually adding more richness and depth to each of them. So each one of them has a richer move set, more things you can do, and more skill required to master them than you even had with Batman. So to do that across the spectrum of Suicide Squad members has been something that's been really enjoyable, and I'm really proud of what the team have achieved there. And then you can combine that with the gunplay, you know, the awesome weapons you're developing over the course of the game, combined with the melee weapons that you have, like Deadshot's wrist cannons, Harley's baseball bat, sharp wielding twin cleavers, and special enhanced traversal moves you can use, like Deadshot, doing a fuel dump and setting enemies on fire. You know, so it's really about creating a whole spectrum of possibilities for the player to use and just letting them loose and enjoying them as much as they can.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Let's take a couple questions now. We've got a question from Altair from the UK, and he wants to know, what has been the most exciting part about working on this new game?
Well, I think one thing we were really excited about was to bring Metropolis to life. So Metropolis itself is really the fifth character in the game, and it's something we've treated the same with Gotham in Arkham City. Arkham Knight was
next year అయినా ఓకే కానీ మరి 2021 అంటేనే I got turned off.
Making it something that really speaks to the player and being able to realize it to a level of detail that's never been done before in any medium. So we created this open world over which the game takes place, and I think it's really a love letter from us to DC fans. I think they're going to love it and really enjoy it, and it's something that I'm really proud of. Team have done a phenomenal job with that.
We have another question here, also from the UK, which is, you're from the UK, and both questions are from the UK, so somebody do the math. But Ellis from the UK wants to know, with the Suicide Squad game that's coming up, will we be playing as every character from the squad or just one? And if it is just one, which character is it going to be? Because want some help killing Superman?
Well, the game itself, the structure of the game is it's a 1 to 4 player co-op game. So if you want to play single player, you can totally play single player. I mean, our mantra has been that you play this game how you want to play it. So if you play single player, you'll still have a full squad with you. You'll have 2 players, 2, 3, 4 will be filled by bots who will fight along with you and really join in the fun and obviously give you that squad experience. But if you want to play multiplayer with your friends, that's still absolutely great. They can join in.
Well, Benton, I think it's better to leave some cartoons to be cartoons, not live action. And
the whole game is accessible, single player, multiplayer, in and out of those 2 modes, however you want to do it. So it's really something that we just want to give up to the fans and let them choose. And
so it's a multiplayer, single player thing again, and the co-op game. మంచి సింగిల్ ప్లేయర్ సూపర్ హీరో గేమ్ వచ్చి చాలా కాలం అయింది. హోప్ స్పైడర్ మ్యాన్ స్టేస్ దట్ వే.
Instantly switch to playing as Harley, swinging around and flying into enemies from a baseball bat around the head. So there's so much freedom in the way you play the game because we really wanted to get across that feeling of being a whole squad and not just one person going on this mission.
Lastly, I'd like to know, if it's okay with you, if can I be in the new game? I'm not saying Task Force X. I'm just saying maybe just like a random handsome guy who's, you know, hanging out in Metropolis, just being handsome and dodging chunks of debris.
I think we can maybe make something work, Will.
Great. Well, then it's settled. That's awesome. That's the contract. Thank you for joining us, Sefton. It's the game looks absolutely spectacular, and it will be made even better by the appearance of me as an NPC.
Sure thing, Will. Good luck teleporting home.
I made a huge mistake.
Are you kidding me? That
okay.
insane.
అయిపోయింది. Now on to our final panel of Batman.
It looks so awesome. In fact, you know what? I officially challenge you to a game.
I mean, we've been hanging out with the fans all day, but we also have our fan questions.
I have so many questions, Sam, but I'm actually going to hold them for Matt Reeves, who's going to be joining us here very soon.
Okay, great. I'll tell you what, why don't we go and chat to James Gunn and see what he has to say when I asked him my question, which was, if you could be a Suicide Squad member, or which member you identified with the most, who would it be and why?
I probably identify with Polka Dot Man because he is completely an outsider who's a mess, who doesn't know what's going on. And but I wish that I could be I guess I wish I could be Ratcatcher too.
లేదు నాకు తెలియదు బ్రో. ప్రణవ్ రెడ్డి. I have to do a couple of research and do it.
I really like Ratcatcher too. If there's one I wanted to be.
అంత ఐడియా లేదు, so I don't want to assume.
Let's head on over to Aisha to end the show. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sam. That was killer. Guys, there is no place that I would rather be than right here with you right now in this hallowed place where we all get to come together to celebrate us, the fans, and all things DC. And I've got to pinch myself right now to make sure I'm not dreaming because we have the man who is starring in the next feature film incarnation of one of DC's most
Robert
popular
Pattinson.
characters of all time. We're talking more than 80 years here, guys. So ready your bodies, because here is the Batman.
Robert
Pattinson.
Okay. The poster is damn slick, so raw, and
as many of you probably already know, we were in the beginning stages of production when COVID hit, so now I'm very anxious to get back to work and continue to form this beloved character. I've always been a massive fan. I'm not really allowed to share anything, so I'm going to hand it over to the great Matt Reeves, who's somewhere around here, and he can determine what can and can't be talked about. But I do know that if you stick around till the end, there's a cool surprise, so I hope you enjoy.
Okay.
Matt, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, as Robert said, it's super early to tell us much about the movie, but I think what's exciting about where we are with DC and with this franchise specifically is that there's been a multiverse of Batman, right? And now you're taking over this particular iteration of Batman. What made you want to tell a Batman story? I mean, this is a heavy lift. What was it that drew you to this character in this world?
Look, I love Batman, and I've loved Batman since I was a kid. And I never even imagined, when I began making movies, that I would do genre movies, because I just loved certain kinds of movies that were very character based. And it's really interesting that as I got deeper into genre, I realized that that was a way to do very emotional stories, but under the guise of these sort of great mythic tales. And in particular, what excited me, and the thing I
Avinash, చూసాను సెట్స్ లో రాబర్ట్ ప్యాటిన్సన్ యాక్చువల్ గా ఆడిషన్ కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు he told that family emergency, but Nolan guessed it correctly, that he went to Batman audition. So that was pretty interesting.
Resolving yourself, like, he's a very alive character, and to me, to tell a version of Batman where, again, it wasn't about how he became Batman, but it's about the early days of how he is Batman, and he is so far from being perfect, and watch us sort of see him becoming what we all know about him.
Okay, so year one adoption,
that was a way to do something that hadn't been done, and that was really what I was excited to be able to do in this iteration.
You have said that all of us imagine ourselves, or have imagined ourselves to be Batman. And I know that's why I love those stories from the time I was a kid, because he didn't come from another planet, right? He doesn't have magical powers.
Yes, Colin Farrell is Penguin, and Robert Pattinson as Batman.
One of the things that I think is interesting is learning how to be Batman.
And
the whole idea,
there are some cast members. I forgot their names, but
we're in year 2. It's the Gotham experiment. It's a criminological experiment. He's trying to figure out sort of what he can do that can finally change this place. And in our story, as he's in that mode, that's where you meet him, and you see that he is charting what he's doing, and he's seeing that he's not having any of the effect that he wants to have yet. And that is when the murders start to happen, and then the murders begin to describe sort of the history of Gotham in a way that only reinforces what he knows about Gotham, but it opens up a whole new world of corruption.
So it's
that
a
went much farther.
crime
But as that story starts to come out,
based
without being an origin tale for him,
Batman.
it ends up being something that touches on his origins. So you start to see that as it starts to describe this epic history of corruption in Gotham, that you start to understand, well, where did my family sit in that? And in that sense, I think all of that is a way to take a story that is a detective story, a very point of view story, a mystery. It's got, of course, action, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of it, it also is incredibly personal for him, even though it is the story in which he's trying to understand and unravel this mystery.
It's so layered. I'm really excited about it. Speaking of what we know about Gotham, you've revealed some of the characters in this story, and the casting is just extraordinary.
They're amazing. I mean, we have, Paul Dano plays a version of the Riddler that no one has ever seen before. And it's really exciting. He's such an incredibly creative actor. And so what he is doing, I think, is going to blow people's minds. And then to have, Zoe Kravitz, her iteration of Selena Kyle, like, to me, that's incredibly exciting. You have an iteration that you've never seen of what she's doing, but it touches on all these kind of iconic sort of things that people know from the comics. So it's always about trying to square what you sort of know with what also is new. And that is really part of, I think, the exciting sort of process of making a Batman movie, which is to find a way to make it your own and to find a way for the actors to make it their own, and yet still connect to all of these things that people also go, oh, that's my Selina. I know who that is. And I guess the one thing about the Rogues Gallery is that it actually, in a weird way, is the origins of a lot of our Rogues Gallery characters. So, like, Selina isn't Catwoman yet. That's actually part of the journey. Oz is not yet the Kingpin that he's going to become. He's the Penguin, and in fact doesn't like being called the Penguin. And the Riddler is just emerging for the first time. So that's all incredibly exciting. And then we have, like, you know, to have Andy Serkis, who is, you know, I work with on the Apes movies. He's one of the most beautiful actors, and he is playing an iteration of Alfred that I feel like people have never seen before, which is really exciting to share with people. And then we have an incredible, for me, like, I just think that Jeffrey Wright is just one of the great actors, and to be able to
Jeffrey Wright,
work with him in a totally
James
new
Gordon
iteration
ga
of Gordon.
chestunadu.
And then we have, you know, the amazing John Turturro, who's going to be a Carmine Falcone, who, again, I think in this iteration you've never seen that version before. And how all these characters connect, I think, for me, was one of the challenges but also exciting things about the creation of the story, which is that in going on this sort of desire to solve, or the urge and the compulsion to solve this series of crimes, you touch on all of these iterations of the beginnings of these characters, so that the whole movie is like, it's like a snowball rolling. You can just feel the momentum building and building, and that's the attempt.
It's exciting to be able to talk to you in the middle of making this, you know, this incredibly rich undertaking. And you're an incredibly busy man, not just this film. It's just announced that you're going to be working on the Gotham PD series you're developing with writer Terrence Winter. How are these two projects going to dovetail? How are the series and the films worlds going to overlap or connect?
Yeah, totally. I mean, for me, the idea of this story was a story in which Gotham, which has this sort of depth of corruption, and then the idea that we could actually do a series that is going deeper into an aspect of it, which in this case is the corrupt police department, the corrupt inner workings of the city. And the way we're going to do the series, which is, I mean, I'm incredible. I mean, Terrence Winter is just like an incredible writer. So the idea that we got him to do this, I mean, just is literally a dream. And
so tie-in series కూడా వస్తుంది HBO Max కి Gotham PD అని.
Of the emergence, it's the first appearance of this masked vigilante that starts to unsettle the city, and you start to see the story through the point of view of these corrupt cops, and one in particular, and the story is actually a battle for his soul. And he's a cop over generations, and the history of corruption in Gotham is enormous and goes back many years. And the story is like, as you realize that there's this myth building in the background, you're actually in a new place where you've never seen these characters before, some of which we'll touch on that you may have seen from the comics, but others totally new. Then you can go down an avenue and go into detail that you couldn't do in a movie, and to go into these sort of rich places and meet entirely new characters that Terrence is going to create. I'm incredibly excited about it.
That's awesome. I mean, like I said, it just dimensionalizes that multiverse that much more and adds that much more depth to it. Now, as you know, Matt, here in the DC Fandome, it's not just a celebration of all the superheroes and the villains that we love, but most importantly, it's a celebration of the fans. So we have some questions for you straight from the fanverse, okay?
Okay, cool.
Here we go. All right, this question comes from Arvin in the UAE, and he asks, when it comes to costume design and the collaboration processes behind it, to what extent were stars able to implement their own influence within the design?
That's a good question. You know, actually quite a bit. I mean, we have, of course, an incredible costume designer, Jacqueline Duran, and the bat suit was designed by Glyn Dillon, and they're geniuses. I mean, it's great to work with them, but one of the things that's really important is being able to work with the actors. Like Rob had a very important part in designing the suit in that
Pranav, చాలా బ్యాక్లాష్ వచ్చింది, నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ హిమ్, బేల్ తర్వాత ఇంకా మన బెనెఫ్లిక్ కూడా వచ్చింది. బట్ యూనో జనాలు అలవాటు పడడానికి ఇట్ టేక్స్ టైమ్, బట్ వన్స్ దే సీ హిమ్ ఆన్ స్క్రీన్ అండ్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ దే కెన్ అగ్రీ అపాన్ దెమ్.
So you look at his cowl and you can actually see there are gashes in in it, and all of that detail was an incredibly exciting sort of dialogue between me and the costume designers, and then having Rob involved. And so, yeah, I mean, the actors have a lot to do, because you always do a dialogue with everyone so that we can arrive at the thing that feels the most grounded, the most honest, and the most character-based.
I'm just hoping everybody got pockets.
You know what, too? I will tell you this. One of the big things that Rob actually talked to Christian Bale, and Christian Bale was like, just make sure you're going to be able to relieve yourself. So all of that sort of was actually part of what was important to build into, which is like, okay, he needs to be able to put it on. He also needs to be able to live as a human being.
Okay, here's a video question from Pedro in Brazil.
Hi, I'm Pedro from Brazil, and I believe that one of the most important things about the whole Batman mythology is not just the characters such as Batman or the Joker, it's Gotham City itself. So I wanted to ask you, what should we fans expect to see from Gotham City in this film? Thank you.
You're absolutely right. Like, it's just as important as any of the Rogues Gallery. It's sort of like the nature of what this place is and the history of it is critically important to our story. And one of the things that I really wanted to do, because it is the center of this story, especially the history of corruption in the city, was I wanted to present it in a way that was really fleshed out. I wanted it to feel like an American city you'd never been to. I mean, other iterations have, you know, obviously the Burton one had very, very theatrical, beautiful, beautiful sets. And Nolan had the version that he created in Batman Begins, and that was a particular thing. And then parts of Chicago and parts of Pittsburgh. And what we're trying to do is create a version of it that you haven't seen before. So some of the locations that we've chosen, the idea is to take, let's say there's like we have like a Gotham Square. So that's like Times Square, right? Now, if we shot it in Times Square, then you'd be like, I guess Gotham is New York. But in our case, it's actually going to be Liverpool. And the idea is to go to Liverpool where there's all the sort of the foundation of the Gothic architecture, and then add all of the more modern structures through CG, but in a way that you're going to, when you see the movie, now that I've blown it, of course I've told you what it is, but you'll be like, hey, where's that city? Where did they shoot? And so the aspect of Gotham and realizing it has been, for me, one of the great pleasures in getting to mount the movie.
That's amazing. Evla from Germany says, it's already known that the movie is going to explore Bruce's second year as Batman. How do the citizens of Gotham perceive the vigilante?
Oh, that's a good question. Because it's still early and because he is a vigilante, which means he takes the law into his own hands. I mean, if you were in a city and there was a guy who dressed up as a bat and showed up out of the shadows and sometimes confronted those people and beat them up because he felt what they were doing was wrong, so that he could sort of put the fear of God in them about the crimes that they're committing, I think we would wonder, well, gee, that guy sounds a little dangerous. He's not yet the vision of the character that he becomes, where he becomes a symbol of hope for the city. He's earlier in the trajectory, and so they're afraid of him, frankly. He's kind of a growing legend. I think there are some people who are wondering, does he exist? How exactly does he exist? And that legend is building day by day and has been since he made his first appearance about a year and a half ago, as we were in year 2. So yeah, the public is afraid of him. I mean, that's one of the things I think that he will confront in the course of the story, and that Rob has to sort of deal with in playing the character, which is the idea of how he's perceived.
And speaking of Rob, Aditya in Indonesia has a video question.
What was the best part of Robert Pattinson that he was chosen as the new Batman?
I mean, the thing about Robert Pattinson is he's an incredible actor. I feel like the work that he's done in the last, I don't know, 6 years has been incredible. Like, a friend of mine made a movie called Lost City of Z, and Rob appeared in that movie, and I was like, who is that guy? He had just such charisma, and Rob in the movie has this incredible beard, and you're like, who is that? And it's Rob. And Rob in The Rover, and Rob in Good Time. He is like a chameleon, and he's just such a gifted actor, and he's been working on his craft
నేను కూడా విన్నా బ్రో ప్రణవ్ బట్ ఏమో అది కన్ఫర్మ్ అయితే కానీ మనం చెప్పలేం ఇట్స్ స్టిల్ ఇన్ వర్క్స్ పిచ్ అయితే జరిగిందని విన్నాను నేను టు HBO Max బట్ అది కంప్లీట్ గా అవుతుంది లేదు అండ్ ఫ్లాష్ తో కూడా టై ఇన్ అవుతున్నాడు సో లెట్స్ సీ హౌ బెన్ అఫ్లెక్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు ప్లే ఇన్ DCU.
Asks, how long did it take to build the Batsuit, Batmobile, and Batbike? And did you have to build a set to create the Batcave?
You know, it's funny. It's like stepping into your childhood in a certain way, because, you know, obviously the first thing you have to do is you have to craft a story that you think is worthy of the character. But then once you've done that, and it becomes like, oh yeah, we're making this movie, one of the things you have to do is you have to design a bat suit. You have to design a Batmobile. You have to have a bat cave. You have to have bat bikes, all of the things that he's going to have. And so, you know, for me, that's been one of the exciting things. And that happened even before we were quite done with the last iteration of the script. You know, we'd already gone through passes, and it was quite clear what the vision of the world was being. While I'm writing, I actually already have a production designer on. And so he would be sending, as I'm writing scenes, I might send stuff to James, and he's like, oh, well, what about this for a bat cave? And so, yes, we had to build a set for it. But I think it's an incredibly original and different set. I think it's going to be really fun for the audience to discover what version of exactly this bat cave is going to be. The Batmobile and the bat suit, they took a long time. You know, I mean, Glenn came on quite early, and we worked in the designing of it, again, as I was writing, and the idea of him being able to fight in it. And so they started illustrating, and I'd say we spent easily a year to do the bat suit, and then to get into the Batmobile, and that, of course, that part's a dream. I mean, you know, the idea of getting to do your own version of the Batmobile is like, you're just kind of like, what? That's the incredible candy, right? Like the telling of a story is the hard work and trying to make sure that you're doing the right thing. And then when you get to dive into the idea of this car that, again, feels connected to this version of the character, a grounded version of the character, this is something that he built, and to try and look at those kind of rough seams and imagine how all that works, it's been an incredible sort of gift to be able to do that.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Alejo from Argentina asks, what will be the main difference between this Batman and the other incarnations from previous films?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think, you know, as we said, it's not an origin tale, and you're meeting him in the early days. And for me, what's really important about this iteration is that, you know, a lot of the other stories are very much about how he had to master his fear and master himself in order to become Batman, and that in that Batman state, he's sort of in his best self. And I think for me, what was exciting was not doing that, not doing the origin, not doing what we'd seen done so beautifully in other movies, but instead to meet him in the middle of this criminological experiment.
Until now మనకు తెలిసిన ప్లాట్ పాయింట్స్ ఏంటంటే బ్యాట్మ్యాన్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ హిస్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీవన్ ఈజ్ అదర్ రోగ్ గ్యాలరీ అంటే విలన్స్ అందరూ కూడా దే ఆర్ స్టిల్ స్టార్టింగ్ అప్ సో అది ప్రెసెంట్ మనకు తెలిసిన ప్లాట్ పాయింట్స్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్యాట్మ్యాన్ అండ్ ఇది క్రైమ్ కి రిలేటెడ్ గా ఉంటుంది ఇట్స్ గోయింగ్ టు బి టూ గ్రౌండెడ్ అండ్ ఆల్
what we're doing is to try and do it in exactly that sort of manner. And then of course the other things that are from the earlier history of the comics, like him being the world's greatest detective and how he got there, you know, those things have been touched on, but I don't know that they've been as central to the plot as they are in this particular Batman. So there's a lot of things I hope that will be totally different.
Cliff from Australia asks, what's one deep cut comic fans might be surprised to see has inspired the Batman?
You know, for me, because I wanted to get into the mindset of the character and I wanted to think of the psychology, for me, I think one of the cool deep dive ones was Darwin Cook's ego. He's confronting the beast that is Batman, and it's kind of, there's a kind of duality. I mean, there's a lot in what, you know, is trying to do in the story about him confronting the shadow side of himself. The degree to which you have self-knowledge, you're able to understand your motivations, but he's broken, Batman. So while he's doing all of these things for the reasons that he thinks is right and that have a heroic sort of grounding in them, there's also many things that are driven by the parts of himself he doesn't yet know. And so I would say that that kind of sort of psychological Jungian shadow side, that sort of version of it is very much connected to that vision from Darwin Cook from Ego.
Yosef from Bolivia says, which non-Batman movie were Matt Reeves, yours, inspiration for the Batman?
Oh, well, because the movie is a detective story, because it is a thriller in the sort of cop world, and because it's about corruption, we're treating this Batman story as if this could have happened. I mean, the idea is that, as I said, Batman doesn't have this sort of the ability to have sort of super heroic powers. He just has super heroic focus and super heroic drive. And so for me, you know, a lot of movies like Chinatown was a key one, because Chinatown, Jake Gittes, in investigating that sort of the series of crimes that were part of that story, he discovers the depth of corruption in Los Angeles. And so in that way, it's like a classic noir.
Yeah, that's a good watch, actually.
Murders that Batman is investigating are very much in that mode. So Chinatown was a really big one, and that idea of that kind of gritty, flawed, this humanity of it, that was very much inspired by those kinds of movies, by like French Connection and other sort of cop movies like that. I would say even a movie like Taxi Driver, the description of a place and very much getting inside of somebody's head. And I guess a lot of really sort of 70s street grounded stories.
So, Matt, one of the exciting things about the Batman as a character is that he's so layered and so kind of intense that you can dip into his life at different points, and none of these different characters, these different iterations of the Batman or Gotham or the entire kind of Batman universe as it was, will tread on the ground that others have already covered.
Oh, totally. I mean, for me, that's exciting. Like the idea of the history of Batman, like just the idea of the actors who have played Batman, like Adam West, when I was a kid, like Adam West, that was like, when I was 5 and watching him as Batman, like that blew my mind. I wanted to be Batman so badly. And then I remember when I was a little bit older and then Keaton came on the scene with the Burton movie, I was so excited they were going to do a theatrical version of that. And then the iterations that have followed, like so many incredible people. I mean, Bale was amazing. I mean, incredible. Everything that Chris Nolan was astonishing. And I personally love Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was incredible. Like an iteration again that we hadn't seen. So like in fact, I'm really excited because I know that they've got Zach is going to be doing the new Justice League cut of his that he didn't get to do originally, and now he's getting to do it, and I can't wait to see that. So for me, the idea that there are sort of, first of all, to be a part of history like that is an incredible thing, and I do think that that's one of the things. It's kind of like the comics, you know, when you look at the comics, there are so many iterations of Batmans. There are so many different people's Batmans. There's Neil Adams' Batman. There's, you know, of course, there's Bob Kane and Bill Finger's Batman, and there's Frank Miller's Batman. There's so many Batmans. And
Chala Batman takes ఉన్నాయి, and everyone is unique, gritty, and every writer యొక్క సింబలిజం మనకి బ్యాట్మ్యాన్స్ లో కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది.
Graphic novels came out when I was a kid. What a radical departure that felt like. How exciting that was.
Oh my God.
But it didn't erase all the ways that I had connected with that character previously. It just made the world richer and, you know, more exciting. So,
yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it's the strange thing of wanting to be able to find a way to come at it in some new way, and yet it has to be connected to that thing that you love. And that, for me, being part of that history and being part of all of that is sort of almost unbelievable. You have to pinch yourself.
So Matt, before we wrap up, I think that what the fans really want is to get just even a tiny glimpse of what the film's going to look
teaser.
like. And, you know, this is a fan experience. I'm hoping you brought us something we can show them.
It's Fandome, and you know, having been to Comic-Con and all of that, and you don't come without anything. And you know, look, we've only shot 25% of the movie, 25-30% of the movie, so there's so much. This is just scratching the surface, but there was no way that I could come here and not bring a look at the movie. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited to share what is just the first tease of our movie, and I hope you guys like it.
Okay. No more lies.
From your secret friend.
Underneath the bridge,
Who?
top has sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped
Haven't a clue.
all become my pet.
Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
That look.
You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
Oh my God.
The hell are you supposed to be?
Bah. Brutal.
I'm vengeance.
Iconic line.
This guy's crazy.
You're part of this too.
How am I part of it?
You'll see.
$2021. Okay, that's cool.
I'm so excited for this film. It's amazing that you only shot
ఒక
a
మంచి
quarter of it,
క్రైమ్
and it's already feels
థ్రిల్లర్
so robust and
లాంటి వేలో వెళ్ళారు.
and I can't wait to see the finished product. Thank you so
So-
much for being here with me and with all the fans around the world who are so excited for this film. I know I speak for them when I say that we are all super pumped for the Batman.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here, and I'm really excited that we're going to get back to making this movie so that you guys can see it.
Yeah.
Guys, a huge
Okay,
thank you
guys,
to the fans
that's all.
around
That's
the
a
world
wrap.
for your dedication to DC, and
So
honestly, for being the inspiration
that's a
behind
sign
the
off
whole
from
DC
me.
fandom itself. We
Okay.
literally would
Good
not be
morning,
here if it
everyone.
wasn't for you. You're awesome. And for those of you who are just joining us now, stay tuned for the Wonder Woman panel as our DC